speak? Nah, man, it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour with the salted caramel crunch.
Oh, yeah, house-made warm salted caramel sauce and roasted almonds on 2 buttermilk pancakes topped with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, man, it's crunch time at the G, and then it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour.
So this is footy speak then?
I'm just saying, man, like, the salted caramel crunch would be great to have after a day at the footy.
Oh, Pancake Parlour open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
EFL.org.au is a must-visit for the die-hard Eastern Football League fan. In our news section, check out the latest news, feature articles and video programs, including the Inside Football Friday preview. Have your say in the EFL poll. Check out all the latest EFL videos. Best of all, you can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy, head to EFL.org.au. On EFL Sunday, it's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
Yes, welcome out here to Jubilee Park for the big Division 1 encounter between Vermont and Noble Park. We're not far away from the Bouncers. The two reserve sides walk off the ground. Vermont have found their way into a preliminary final next week with a 9-point victory over Rowville in a low-scoring game. Here on our small pre-match today, we've got Wayne Brasher joining me.
Good afternoon, Az, and ripper contest in store for us this afternoon between two quality sides that have been powerhouses and still are powerhouses in Division 1 football, and it's going to be survival of the fittest. And as I said in my preview on the Bush and the Burbs, who's going to be the biggest loser.
Yeah, certainly it's going to be a cracking game. I can't wait. Beautiful conditions out here. Bit of a breeze, it's swirling around, and Brett Davison joins us as well on the pre-match.
Good afternoon, guys. It's a fantastic Father's Day today, and happy Father's Day to everybody out there. It's certainly the best place to be down here at Jubilee Park. Look, it's a magnificent ground.
It's beautiful, Nick, isn't it?
It is. Oh, yeah. It is sensational. And look, when you look at it, you're looking at an AFL-style venue with its size and shape and everything like that. But look, that breeze is pretty strong. I reckon it's probably nearly a 2 to 3 goal breeze. And we saw in the reserves a very, very low-scoring affair until the last 10 minutes when Vermont managed to kick a few goals. So look, it'll be a very interesting game today with two sides with very, very different lists, I would say.
Yep.
Yes, it's certainly exciting as with the cheer that you just heard there was the Vermont side running out onto the ground. They're wearing the white shorts today. And Brash, to get a quick mention on you, hopefully for their sake it's not, but Grant McCarthy and Bernie Deneen could be playing their final games today.
Yeah, great stalwarts of the Vermont Football Club. And both great, and they've done a hell of a lot. They've been part of some great success. Whatever happens from this moment on, everything's a blessing really for them too. And it'd be a fitting thing if they could go out being a winner. In doesn't matter whether it's this week or next week. They've both been ornaments to the club and thoroughly deserve the accolades that they get. And
we're hearing Brett out of the Noble Park camp. Obviously, we know Ziggy Orwin will most likely miss the rest of the season. We heard that from Mick Fogarty this morning on EFL Sunday, but we're hearing Brett Dorr might not be playing this afternoon either.
And look, I suppose there's two ways of looking at that. If he's missing purely because of the structure of what we're playing on today, we're playing on a massive ground, and we saw that Noble last week, one of the things that probably hurt them was their outside run. Yep. They didn't have enough. But also, I look at the other side and went, well, Brett Dorr, I thought, was one of their shining lights in the back half. He was good in the air. He worked really hard. When he went forward, he was actually a little bit constructive. Went forward when they had Alwyn as well.
Yep.
Without him, unless they brought in some quick runners, well, that may hurt them.
It's interesting for me, Brett, this year. I've been pretty critical of him. I saw him play against Vermont in their only game this year, and he was a really good player down back. To me, I know he has had a heel ankle problem somewhere around there early on in the year that I think has affected his speed, but you did see last week he was quite slow across the ground. He didn't have that speed even off the lead for 10 or 20 metres to get any distance on his opponent.
And probably the other thing, we actually made mention of it last week, was when he got the ball, he went straight onto it. He didn't want to go back and take a kick. He was on with the hands, on with the feet. It was as if he actually was a little bit injured at the time. So yeah, I can understand maybe why he's not in the side, and probably what they are looking for when you talk about this ground. You've got to be quick across this surface, and with this breeze meaning that the ball may be on the ground a little bit more than normal, you've got to have speed on the ground. And I think that's probably what they may have gone for a little bit today, Noble, because that's the thing about this young Vermont team. They are just full of young runners.
Yep.
You know, they go, and even Bernie as an old runner. But, you know, they've got that speed in the legs, and they'll try and, I'd say, push the ball wide a little bit, bring it in at the last moment and use their speed.
Yes, well, it's we just see them run out, and it doesn't look like Brett Dory's out there, so I think we can pretty much confirm that he's not playing. Also, another one who I've been super impressed with this season. Saw him sitting up here in the stands as well. He's young Jake Wilson. Doesn't look like he'll be playing this afternoon. He's only very young, but he's got a body like a 25, 26-year-old. Nice heart. He's another one that was an interesting out for me. I thought he could have played on that smaller type forward, mid-sized forward for Vermont.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's probably one that you'd probably want to have a look at and play in a game. But I suppose it is cutthroat at the moment, and you want to go out with that mix of experience and youth and what have you. And they've probably found that the balance is that they need to go out with the team that they've got. It'll be interesting to see on a big ground like this. And I mean, this is a massive ground here. The effect that Manson will have, because last week he was super, wasn't he? He was super in the middle.
Chuck.
Around this ground, it'd be interesting to see how they use him and how he works himself, because he's not going to be able to get to all the contests that he could at Bayswater. So we'll see what they do here, because he was instrumental in turning the game around last week after quarter time just about.
I think also too, when just having a look out there, Vermont have gone with the extra tall. They've brought in Travis Bird this week to help Liam Buxton Wales out, so that they probably see if they can expose Glenn Manson around the ground and try and run him around a lot, and see if they can get hold of him that way. I just think also too, for Noble Park, Davo, you and I were just talking off air before, some of the younger guys are really going to have to step up. They'll need a lot out of Kevin Keane today. They'll also need a lot out of the Cody boys as well. So, and Herbelet comes into the side, a good young bloke as well. Collis is another young bloke. So all these guys are definitely got to stand up. I still think though, when I look at the Noble Park side, I think when you're assessing a lineup, right, you've got to try and see if you can find or expose a player where you can play through. And I firmly believe that Vermont could get some goals if they play through Trent Robinson. I just feel at times his discipline sort of lets him down a little bit, and he can get ruffled pretty easy. He's slow off the mark, so Vermont put a zippy bloke on him and have him push forward. I think you could probably expose him as well.
Will that be the matchup for Mitch Davis? He's back in the side, didn't play last week, and I think from Mitch Davis, obviously coming from up the Gippsland area, he plays on the bigger grounds. He leads too much to the pockets for mine at Vermont. This ground is going to suit him. He's got a big engine. He can lead up to the football. Yeah,
well, I think a lot of the Vermont pundits are actually saying that he really is the key for him today. I mean, yes, this is a tailor-made ground for him. He's a proven finals performer in the Gippsland region. He's probably coming in on a bit of an injury cloud, but let's not take into consideration Noble Park have got their own little injury concerns. But one other player I just didn't fail to mention will really need to fire and stand up today is Luke Mann. I think with Brett Dorr out of the side, Mann's going to have to try and command the ball today in that centre half forward region, because if they can't gain any ascendancy there, they're going to be in big trouble.
Just as a team, just as they start to move into position, I was going to ask a quick question, and going with what you were going to say as well. How do you see this one playing out? We just watched the reserves. We saw Andy Ellis for Vermont kick 3 goals very quickly. It seems to me it's one of those days with a bit of wind around and the big ground that's that medium-sized forward, and the best one on the ground for mine is Shane Allen.
Oh, definitely. And look, I think it is. The ball's going to be on the ground. Last week, if we look at what happened, Noble were beaten on the outside, and they suddenly got back into the game through contested football, close checking game. You can't really play a close contested checkered game here on this ground. So that could be, it might mean that they run a little bit more, and that's where Mann might be better, because he runs pretty well across the ground when he's in form. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
They need a big game from him. He's played a couple of times throughout the season and hasn't really, for mine, had an impact on any of them.
Yeah, definitely. So look, it will be interesting to see how the styles are different too, because the one thing we noticed last week with Noble, gee, they turned the ball over with some very poor kicking from defence, and you can't afford to do that on a big ground like this either, because you'll get carved up by the young running Vermont side.
We're just about to get started here, and we'll introduce our lovely broadcast manager, Ben Warren-Smith. He's here with us for the big game.
Yeah, looking forward to this one, as it's going to be a ripping contest. I'm tipping Noble Park today.
Yeah, I'm going to go Vermont. As the ball goes up in the middle, Manson, give that one to him at ground level. Emily gets a quick kick forward. Here's a chance. Leading in the race is Styles for Vermont. Taps it out in front, was running to by Wright. Ball in dispute. Styles did really well, but Peter Wright followed up with a strong tackle. Anderson to man. Noble Park going backwards. They're working the ball well. Kemperman's hand pass wasn't very good at all. Mendes chops it off, but he's wrapped up in a gang tackle just outside the 50.
What a picture it looks out here today at Jubilee.
Yeah, great, isn't it?
Oh, it's magnificent today. It's, unfortunately, we were saying it probably gets affected by the weather a little bit more than other grounds, and today with that breeze, I reckon it's a good... Well, it looks like a 2 to 3 goal breeze down one end, but we'll see what at to the end, which Noble are kicking at the moment.
Secondary bounce as well, as we just pack around the footy. Manson. Free kick going to Wale Buxton in the ruck. Hand passes off to Emily, who runs himself into trouble. Gets a kick to the top of the square. Davis and Perry will fly, and Perry... Ball just dropped short, almost in the breeze there, and Joel Perry was in front position, and he's marked about 25 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Very lucky there, I thought, Davo. Emily could have nearly got caught and caused a turnover. Managed to get a kick to position, and Perry Lee, being in front, took advantage of the wind drop and ended up being quite well in front to take that mark.
To me, it looked like Noble just were a little bit slow off the mark then, and already a little bit of leg speed problems just around the contest.
And Perry will come in. Been a bit of an issue for Vermont in finals going past, kicking for goal, and he has missed to the left-hand side. So the first score on the board goes to Vermont. They lead one straight behind. Noble Park yet to score.
And to go back to our board this afternoon. Cross down shortly to Esmond de Ponzo, who will tell us all about the breezes. Kemperman brings it in short. Craig Anderson in the pocket, right in front of the Noble Park faithful. They came in 2 busloads today. Such a great supporter base. The short pass is on. Sam Monaghan takes the mark. So they're still in the defensive arc, the Bulls. Harper asking for it short. A little bit indecisive. So kicked a percentage up towards the wing, getting down low. The big man Manson just couldn't pull it in. He probably should have taken that on the chest, and over she goes for a boundary throw in right in front of us here on the broadcast position.
I think because the wind is playing such tricky is very tricky out there, I think the ball's going to be held up and the guys are going to be really making decisions very slowly today.
So it was a big knockdown by Manson, but it was stolen there by Parker. He got it away to Mendes. He'll get the old 1-2 in the middle of the ground here. Copped one after for his troubles, but it was a spot-on kick too, and a strong mark taken by Sam Anson, who'll start it from the back line. Short pass on. Mendes just forward of centre. Gets the handball away. This is Cassidy on the right boot. He was short and he was cued, and the umpire said it was good enough as well, and the mark's been taken by Andrew Preto, who might give the handball off here. He did. It was dangerous. Emily asked for it, but he gave it away. Parker gave it back to Emily. Gets boot to ball. But strong mark taken by Daniel Keeley, who moves it across quickly. Here's Monaghan on the right boot. He'll send it out towards the wing position, but it was a 2-on-1 situation. But the one might win out here. That's a pretty good work there by the big man Fake. Got the little handball away, and Stacks on the nil. Expect the umpire to come in and bounce this one.
This is really interesting setup already. I can see Noble Park are scared to go through the middle. They're scared to be taken with the quick ball, and they're going round the outside already. They've gone around the outside twice.
Joel Selwood special there.
Emily earns himself a free kick, and he drills the ball in. Davis at the back couldn't mark. Robertson did well at the front position. Tries to bustle his way through. Got a hand pass out of bounds.
And the different game style BWS and Aaron is the fact that Vermont are looking to play on at all costs and trying to expose Noble Park's leg speed.
Ball thrown in. Big Chuck Manson gets the tap. Went through Parker's hands. Doing well out the back. There's Sketcher. Kick smothered. Davidson goes back to Bernie Deneen. He goes backwards again in turn to Purdy. Cam Purdy goes long, back into that pocket. 4 Noble Park players stand underneath it, and they've given away a free kick. That was just really silly, I think, from Tim Kelly.
Mick Fogarty will not be happy that 4 players are going up against 1 Vermont player. There was no talk whatsoever.
Didn't seem anything untoward.
No.
I think Tim Kelly jumped on his own players back in the end. I don't think he impeded the Vermont player at all. But
yeah, but Tim Kelly jumped on top of a Noble Park player, which in fact infringed on the Vermont player.
And Joel Perry.
Stick your hand up like in cricket. Appeal and you may be rewarded.
Joel Perry is going to have a shot. We've got a great view of it, right behind it. Deep in the pocket. He's going to have to kick it.
50.
All of 50 metres to get it to clear the line. He plays on, runs inside, opens up the angle. Looks pretty good off the boot from Joel Perry.
No.
Oh, hit the post. Nice little dip back at the end, but not enough. And Vermont double their lead. 2 behind. Noble Park get the score on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Boys, update thanks to the local Burger Co from Eastfield Reserve. 2 straight to the basin in the first 5 minutes. They lead 2 straight 12. Templestowe yet to score in the first term, the preliminary final in Division 3.
Thanks, Dice. Got it out towards the Robertson direction, who paddled it to his own advantage. That was good. He gained about 25 metres. Keeley was in there for support, and it bounced up favourably for him. On the left boot, drives it up towards the wing position. McCarthy at front spot. Happy to see it go over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Boundary.
Cross down boundary side, thanks to Life Care, Esmond Aponzo.
The wind's really picked up this afternoon. It's a good 4-goal win going to the right side of the ground with the Canterbury Road end, but the ground was in immaculate condition.
Thanks, Esmond. Knocked down, comes out to the direction of Cody. First player to meet it, got the handball away, but he hit the paint and over she goes for another boundary throw-in.
They will not go inside at the moment, Noble.
No.
Everything is turning outside until they get, I reckon, to the 50 and then they'll come in.
Seems as though they've gone with Martin again at full forward to start.
Comes out, Bird. Well, he got the knock on there. Nicely done there by Preto to go backwards. McCafferty on the right boot. Swings it around up towards the wing where Parker takes a pretty good mark. He was out in front, so not too much pressure. Short passes on. Right underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard now. Vermont moving it up towards half forward where Styles comes out. He's about 80 metres out from goal. Looking for some options inside the 50, and there's a strong lead and a strong mark by Perry. Well, hasn't he started off well?
He's already giving Peaver Wright something to think about.
Steve Cochran asked me this morning where he was going to play, and I told him forward. Maybe he took my advice.
No, he's been playing forward for most of the season. It
was the sheepish saying of forward that I've ever seen in my life as well. So Perry,
he's double bluffed me in the end, I think.
He's kicked 1 goal 1 already in this term. Hop, skip in a jump. He didn't really want to back himself in the end, so he kicked it towards the Staples direction, who almost could pull it down. Deneen was in there as well, released to the football. Here's Jared Fleming, got the handball away. That's okay. Monaghan, this way, that way. Sorry, in fact, it was Shane Allen on the left boot into the middle of the ground. Now the Bulls might have a little bit of a chance here. Collis got the handball out wide. Horton Milne on the left boot, drives the ball inside forward 50. Bergen Fabe, he's out in front. He paddles it to his advantage. He's still on the arc. A short passes on. It was pretty ordinary in the end, but Allen was there to take it this way, that way. He'll want to get back on the left boot. Inside 50 he goes now, spears it into the pocket. He was looking for Aaron Herbelet, and over she goes for a boundary throw-in.
You're right, Dave. They had the perfect opportunity to go straight down the ground and end up going to the half-forward flank.
Yes, it's an interesting ploy. They seem to move it well when they've got the football, so I'd be taking the risk.
Bird, a big fist out. It was every bit of 20 metres into the Daniel Mendes direction. Little handball up, but it was scooped upon. Horton Milne was there, but they heard a whistle. Free kick to Vermont across the half-back line.
And that'll anger Knight as well. He'll be angry about that. That's just, yeah. Sorry, Mick.
Yep.
Mick or
Kick goes up towards the wing position. Perry, well, he's been a pretty good target so far. Horton Milne was in there, brought to ground in a strong tackle, and well, in fact, the umpire said it was a little bit strong. Joel Perry filthy, and tend to agree with him there. It looked like all was fair. Knocked out by Cassidy over the boundary line with ferociousness.
Really good matchup here, Corey Cassidy against Kyle Martin. Kyle Martin obviously playing full forward. I don't know how long Mick Fogarty can afford to have him playing down there with the ball not coming down there.
They did play that match up in the game they played, and Martin didn't really have an impact until he went into the middle during that game.
Vermont lead by 2 behinds, 9.5 minutes into this first term.
You can understand the move if you have a structure that goes around it, but you've got him down there with 3 or 4 other forwards. There's no space, nowhere to run. So it's not like he's being a one-out situation. So it's hard to understand why you would set up that way.
Emily goes in short to Preto. They tried to move it on quickly, almost threw it away. And everybody jumps on and will have a ball up.
Andrew Preto's had a he's made big insights into the footy club this year, and he's really improved. He's starting to nail down a position now.
Well, Buxton couldn't get Mendes in the end, almost grabbed it out of the ruck, but the umpire says we'll have another bounce. Smart decision by the umpire. Didn't mean the ruckman missed it, so we'll have another ball up. Manson just whacked it forward. Anderson socketed off the ground. Emily get there first. Did well. Ducked under one tackle. Hand pass to Mendes. Those two are racking up the possessions early. And we'll have another bounce.
This is what Noble like. They do like this contested football situation where they can break free. But you look at the forward line. It's even congested where it is at the moment. There are actually 4 sets of forwards and loose for Vermont in the Noble forward line.
Plenty of players around. Horton Milne on the bottom. And he's going to get a free kick for holding. Looks like it's gone to Sketcher instead, and he'll go backwards. Kelly. Just backward to centre wing. Brings it into the middle. Oh, straight through the hands. Here's a chance for Johnston. Hand pass off to Deneen. He looked for the switch. It's a risky kick looking for Wade McConnon. Ball brought to ground. Robertson did well. Took it with him really well in the end. Trent Robertson goes along with a mung punt to half forward. It's a 3-on-1 in favour of Vermont. Ball hits the ground. Allen's the one. And Sam Anson sees it over the line and out of bounds. 11 minutes gone in this first term. Still Vermont 2. Noble Park yet to score on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
You can see why you've got to be smart the way you think we're around the football today with 2 bad turnovers then.
Fake knocked it down in towards the arms of Harper. Stolen by Mendes. Hasn't he started off well? He got the little handball away. Now Vermont head towards the wing position where the high flyer will be at the back in Perry. But nicely chopped off there by Tim Kelly, one of my favourites in the Eastern Football League. Such a general. I'll tell you what, you give a guy a rap and he does that sort of thing. He kicks it into the middle of the ground. It might work out okay though. Man got the little handball away. They'll work themselves out here because Cody had Deneen right on his hammer. Got it away to Keeley on the left boot. He goes inside forward 50. Which way is this one going to bounce? Allen was in there. He'll lay a high tackle. The umpires might say it was fair. Did. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Life Care. Esmond.
Both teams making plenty of changes on the interchangement, and the crowd is building up, and it is getting a fantastic atmosphere down here.
Kick goes out towards the wing position now. We're in position A. Luke Cody takes the mark. Short passes on, that's good. Martin takes it. We've talked about him for so many years, such an X-factor player. Looking forward to keeping an eye on him today as his kick goes in towards the forward pocket, stolen by Allen, who'll swing around on the left boot. That's an absolute perler, but it didn't have enough curl in the end. Over to the left-hand side. Noble Park's first score on the board this afternoon, 13 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, sees them trailing by 1 behind because Vermont have kicked 2.
It took a long time to work out where to go then, Kyle, because there were all 18 Vermont players in the defensive area then.
Cassidy to bring it in. Got a man all on his own who fell over, and it's going to cost them heavily. Real chance here for Noble Park. Looks like that ball's gone out of bounds, and we'll have a throw-in.
You can tell there's a lot of tension on the ground because both sides are making some basic silly skill errors.
Ball thrown in again. The big V will go up for Noble Park, and we'll have another throw-in.
And Vermont will be happy with this.
Oh, yeah.
It's 2 points to 1 point. It must be, I don't know, 10, 12, 13 minutes in to this quarter, and really nothing's happening, and Noble have got a 4-goal breeze.
Let's go around the grounds thanks to the local burger co, Dyson Baker.
There's a death ball from the throw-in.
That'll learn him.
And Cody Keeley, in fact, is wrapped up, and we'll have a bounce. Kyle Emily gets a clearance. He's had plenty of it. The wind will take that out, and it gets a shocking bounce, and we'll have a throw. Plenty of stoppages.
These kids down here.
I think kids just
Sort them
break
out,
the
Bruce. You're the scary one.
Ball thrown in again. Plenty of players around it. Chasing it up. Really well done. Out of the packer. Shot on goal. Has missed to the right-hand side. So scores level. 15 minutes into this first term. 2 behinds apiece on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. I think that was Cody having a flying shot.
All Bruce has to do is giggle at them and they'll go away, won't they?
You're not wrong. It's like a scary clown. He kicks the ball in, comes out, Monahan scoops on it, knocks it over the boundary line and out of bounds. So
Bit of a lull in the game really at the moment. Neither side
Boundary.
can...
you can keep going, Brash.
Off you go, Esmond.
Yeah, Steve Cochran just came across and gave Terry a couple of instructions on the boundary line there.
Comes out to Deneen. Thanks, Esmond. Thanks to Life Care Vermont. They have a little bit of a go now on the wing position that's been taken by Barry Murphy, who was in a fair old bit of trouble. Kick was half smothered, so it only travelled about 2 metres. Stacks on the mill. Daniel Keeley over the top, and we'll have a ball up almost on true centre wing position in front of the Vermont faithful. The Violet Crumble Jackets are out in force today, and we love seeing that. Brash has got his T-shirt on, or his polo underneath. Kick goes along the wing position and over she goes.
That was a kick for touch then.
Yeah, it was good. Smart play.
Yeah.
So there's a good crowd out here at Jubilee Park.
Yeah, most definitely. Probably around the 2,000 mark, I reckon.
I wouldn't say it's that many, but sorry, Brash. But it's good. It's a good crowd.
Well, it is
edging,
Father's Day.
it's edging towards that, we might say. The ball's now through Harper. It's under a fair old bit of pressure, but they do have the numbers. Herbelet now on the right boot, kicks the ball inside forward 50. Allen gets down low. He couldn't quite scoop on it, so Styles on the right boot. Short passes on Mendes. Takes the mark, and he's happy to slow things up. Will kick out towards the wing position where McCarthy had a little bit of space. He'll go back and have his kick. Over the man on the mark, Kevin Keane.
It's like both sides don't want to take a risk.
No.
Neither of them want to take a risk at all at the moment.
And that's a kick that totally defines that. A kick goes up. Well, Fake was going for the big knockdown, but Monahan had only eyes for the football and went up uncontested in the end. Takes it across the half-back line. Umpire Dan Beard has spotted something off the play, and perhaps...
Just telling Big V, I think he can't shepherd on the mark.
One thing about Sam Monahan probably had a game last week where he was a bit down. He's getting involved early, and that's really important for Noble Park because he's a crucial midfielder and a very good link man.
The other thing is he got the free kick before. He looked to the left
Yes.
inside. He had all those options, and he immediately went, no, I'm going to go back and look at and not take that risk of going inside.
So Monahan. Kick goes up towards the edge of the centre square. A very strong mark. Sketcher had a good year. Kicks it into the middle of the ground. That's okay.
Better. It opens things up.
Herbelet, he's had a fair bit of the football early in the piece, gets it off, and now they're running in the middle of the ground. Sketcher got it back and kicks the ball inside forward 50 over the back at mine. Favour Martin, who was there, but the ball was going at a good speed. Over the boundary line she goes, 25 metres out from goal.
Once again, first instinct is to kick to a pocket, not direct at goal. I'm a bit perplexed about that.
Fake will go up against Bird. Bird over the back, got the knockdown, little fresh air shot out of mid-air, gained about 15 metres for Vermont. Deneen goes in after it, Herbelet's in there, and Bernie will hand their ball back to the umpire, as he's done so for such a long time. Now it's his final season, maybe his final game. No, he'll be giving 100% and more as he goes after it one more time and hits the deck.
Been some of the best battles, haven't they? Craig Anderson on Bernie Deneen.
Yep.
For the Eastern Football League.
They've got Purdy playing as a loose man in defence, Vermont, and that's probably stopping them from playing that small, very small forward. You can see 2-on-1 all the time.
Yep.
Harper copped one and he got it away to Monahan, and I'll tell you what, Sam Monahan's had some sort of a first quarter, but it'll be Tim Harper who almost fancies himself here. He'll probably have to kick from 51 plus.
I think with this breeze, put it in the right area here and you can actually score from here.
We saw that set shot in the reserves where they kicked it from a similar spot.
Yep.
Cleared it comfortably. I think that's where the wind's coming, straight from behind him.
And we haven't started to beg yet. It's too hot. Too tight up here to get on our knees anyway, but we want a goal. Tim Harper, can he put the first one through for the day? It's definitely got the purchase, but he pushed it to the left-hand side, and another behind goes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Almost into time on here. First term of the first semi-final in Division 1 this afternoon, and it is Noble Park leading this one by 2 points.
Be happy if it was a soccer score.
Yeah.
As Purdy kicks to himself and then kicks it long and high. And look at that hold up in the breeze.
1 point, I should say.
Players are wrapped up. Kirby McConnell in there laying a tackle. And we'll have a bounce just inside forward 50 for Noble Park.
It's a real wrestle at the moment, isn't it? It's a 0-0 draw, I'd say, at this very moment, although Vermont will be happy that Noble haven't scored a goal.
Deneen did really well. Got the hand pass off. Real chance Styles. Hand passes in board. Mendez fumbled, got it back. Hand pass wide to Parker on the wing. Parker can put them inside 50, looking for Wade McConnell at the back. Players couldn't mark. Chance here for Tim Kelly. He can mop up. Neat little kick across the face, looking for Anderson. Ball bounced in front of him. Kick around the corner is nice, and Herbelet will take the mark at right half back. Herbelet just kicked it at the feet of Clement. They'll work it out with here. McCarthy for Vermont. Little hand pass back. Mendez back to Cassidy. Nowhere to go. Dances around a couple and just drops it on his boot. Finds McCarthy, who goes to the left inside 50. Trent Robertson couldn't mark. Ball at ground level, and Cody bangs it back up. Staples will mark and should mark for Vermont.
Staples, short pass on into the middle of the ground where Mendes has it. He's had a lot of the football as well. She'll look to drive it up towards the half-forward line. Luke using the left boot. The big fly there came out there from Davis. He didn't pull it in, but scooped on it nicely. There was McComb, got it back to Mendes. He's almost still on the centre wing. Got the handball away to Parker. Handball over the top. That's okay. Now Preto on the left boot. He's suited to that. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. Over the top there at Perry's head. Peaver Wright's in there. So too Tim Kelly. Little handball out wide. Man got the handball away to Robertson, who banged it on his boot, but to no avail. He had no support out there. McComb on the right boot sends it goalward. Over the back, he had to do the defensive work. Barry Murphy. Bouncing football comes into the arms of Stewie Kemperman, who drives it out towards the wing position where Shane Allen, he has space. He might have a bounce. Elects to go for the long option inside forward 50. Getting down and taking an absolute perler there was Cam Purdy. And he'll go back. Short passes on. That's okay. Travis Bird on the right boot. He'll switch it out wide. Vermont, they've created this switch now, and then let's see what they can do with it over the top there at Preto's head. Bull came charging in. Preto took it, brought to ground by Daniel Keeley, and we'll have a bounce about 70 metres out from Noble Park's goal line.
When Vermont are allowed to run the ball out of the back line along the ground, they look a lot more dangerous than what Noble Park are, who continue to play wide.
Comes out, Emily, got a little fist on it. Keeley sees it over. Let's cross down boundary side, thanks to Life Care. Esmond.
Andrew Preto played a cracking game last week for Vermont against Roeville, and they're looking again at same sort of performance today.
A nice old wind-up of a left boot. Bird almost held, but umpire said it was okay. Manson over the top, tried to break the tackle. He might be pinged here, and he will be, holding the ball.
Tell you what, I've been impressed with Parker this first quarter.
Yeah.
His use of the football has been excellent. His running's been great.
Proven finals performer, Adam Parker.
He's got it left half back. He's really hugging the boundary, and Mitch Davis did well in the end to get a hand to that and knock it over the line for a throw-in.
One of the things in these sort of conditions, it's so hard for the players to judge when to go forward and when to go back, going for that mark.
Spot on, Brush.
Ball to be thrown in again. Manson and Bird. Somehow against Chuck
It's
Manson.
Holding Bird.
And that's the one thing that Travis Bird brings. He brings a little bit of strength, and that's going to, you know, Glenn Manson's not going to get it all his own way in the ruck today.
Goes in short to Davidson. Shane Davidson. Goes in short to Bernie Deneen right in front of the interchange gates. Had a fair bit of the footy already. Continues to run hard. Goes into the middle. Davidson marks again. Going to move the switch. Might have something on here. McCafferty.
It's the next kick that's important now.
Anson.
It's a good one.
Over the top, Preto closing him down really well with Sketcher. Ball in dispute. Anderson went in hard. numbers with Noble Park. Allen was caught high and he let himself a free kick. Advantage paid. Sketcher kicks over the top. Taken in midfield. Keane goes drilling the ball inside 50, looking for Cody. A terrific mark taken by Davidson. They're winning those one-on-one marking contests, Vermont, in the defensive 50.
It was a great play by Sketcher before, the knock on, then the regather, but they're just kicking the ball poorly into their forward half.
It's the same thing. It's the same traits as last week, Dave. Their ball efficiency is killing them again.
McCafferty to Preto, who now goes wider. Finds Anson.
Goal would be nice.
He's not sure where to go. Dangerous kick into the middle. Oh, Cassidy takes the mark. He can switch wider to Emily.
They just want to hold the football this quarter.
Yeah,
that's all they want to do. Inside.
Instinct is to go wide.
Yep, they're just going to hold the footy up.
Emily to Johnson.
Control it the whole time.
Skipper. He's going to go backwards again. Find Parker. He's had plenty of it, Adam Parker. He goes back to Johnson.
I can tell you what, the fans won't be liking this sort of football either.
25 and a half minutes gone. And it's 2 behinds to 3. Noble Park lead by a point on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as Johnson goes up the wing again. And there's the siren. So no goals in the first quarter of football here in this Division 1 EFL semi-final. And Noble Park lead it by a point. It's 3 behinds to 2 behinds out here at Jubilee Park.
I can tell you then that I looked at the Vermont bench, and Steve Cochran just went up and he gave the biggest applause to all those players. He just clapped them the whole time. He knew exactly what a quarter that they'd played that quarter.
Yeah, very impressive against a pretty stiff breeze out here by all reports. We know Esmond Aponzo will be heading out to the Vermont interchange at quarter time. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live around the globe on efl.org.au. If you're out at East Burwood today, keep us up to date via Twitter at FootyEFL, and we'll keep everybody what's happening across these important Choose Tap finals. Going back to the Radio Eastern studios with Dyson Baker. We'll be back with that important around the ground scores right after this. There were no goals kicked, but it was a tough first quarter of football.
How would you like your coffin to look?
I think maybe my wedding photo would look good.
Like HMAS Melbourne. I spent the best years of my life on that ship.
Oh, a picture of me and the kids from when I was younger and they were babies.
Lots of pretty flowers.
Well, at Tobin Brothers Funerals, anything is possible, including a custom designed and decorated coffin to celebrate your life. To find out more, visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor. Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday, thanks to Crocs Play Centres. From 10 till 2 every Sunday morning, the EFL media team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all the seniors, reserves and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Hey man, yeah man, it's crunch time. Is it? Footy speak? Nah man, it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour with the salted caramel crunch.
Yeah, house-made warm salted caramel sauce and roasted almonds on 2 buttermilk pancakes topped with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah man, it's crunch time at the G and then it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour.
So this is footy speak then?
I'm just saying man, like the salted caramel crunch would be great to have after a day at the footy.
Oh, Pancake Parlour open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
Welcome back to the studios of Radio Eastern. Dyson Baker back here. It's 17 degrees and the sun is shining. Perfect conditions for Eastern Football League footy. Although some would say almost a soccer match going on out at Jubilee Park at the moment. It is Vermont who trail 2 behinds, 2 points. Noble Park 3 behinds, 3 points. The other game going on in the Eastern Football League is the Division 3 preliminary final, and that's between the Basin and Templestowe, finishing second and third on the ladder through season 2015 in Division 3. And funnily enough, somewhat unexpected at about the 25-minute mark of the first term, the Bears lead 4-2-26 to Templestowe 1-8. So that one's an intriguing result, and it took 17 minutes for Templestowe to score their first goal, boys. So
that's a bit of a worry for them.
Somewhat of an upset brewing, Brash.
Yeah, it is. And yet, you know, look, Templestowe, we spoke to Rick Irwin this morning and was very concerned about his playing list and the injuries that he's had, but he still was confident that the boys could get the job done, but they've got it all to do now.
So at this stage, they trail by 3 straight goals. I've just got an update. Make that 4. Jaden Brown slits another one through for the Bears. They lead 5-3-33 to Templestowe 1-8. That's at the 30-minute mark of the first term over in the preliminary final.
If the Bears get up, Dyson, you're going to have to play the theme song, mate.
Dare to beat the bear.
Yeah, you're going to have to get it going if they get up this afternoon.
I'll make sure I do it just for you, mate. So just before I throw it back to you guys, I'll reiterate that score once again. The Basin at the 30-minute mark of the first term over at Eastfield, they lead 5-3-33. Templestowe 1-8. And in the AFL, the only match going on is the absolute corker of a game between Melbourne and GWS, and Melbourne lead 7-6-48 over the Giants 7-4-46. That's 2 minutes into the third term.
Thanks very much to Dyson Baker doing his best work in the studio. How do we see that first quarter, boys? We're a bit disappointed with how it was low scoring, but the Vermont side seemed to be very, very happy, and with the breeze that we're seeing here at quarter time, they've got every right to be.
Oh yeah, look, I think they played the quarter exactly the way they wanted to. They had an opportunity at times to take some risks and go through the middle with some short kick and handball. And then when the quarter went on and Noble weren't scoring, they went back to that possession game around the boundary just to control the football. Noble, on the other hand, they started off, they didn't want to take a risk. They went round the outside. When they did take a risk and run through the middle, they looked really good, but then their disposal into their forward 50 was very ordinary, and at times it just didn't allow their forwards any opportunity to take some quality possession. Having said that, the Vermont defence, there was 2 or 3 one-on-one marking opportunities that Vermont were really strong at, and they're going to take the game on now this quarter, Vermont. Really hurt them on the scoreboard, otherwise we're back to a 0 or draw at half time.
Brash, I was going to ask you, do you think Vermont will be more happy to kick the ball long to their tall forwards? With Noble Park not really having anyone to aim for with the breeze, you think Vermont will be a lot happier to kick it long?
Well, they will now because they've got... They will now because they're going to have to go, like Davo said, they're going to have to go for broke.
Let's cross down boundary side. Thanks to Life Care, Esmond Ponzo.
I've got Chris Barlow here, was assistant coach for the Vermont. Look, Chris, the definite game plan was take position, keep control of the game, although it's against a strong wind. Is that what was the planning in the game?
Yeah, well, we've really got to play the conditions today, so it's going to be a game of 2 halves, and I thought we executed really well then, even though we probably did overplay and try and fast play the ball a bit too often, but early we got at the dangerous spots. But look, it's hard to kick goals at both ends here, so it's going to be a real game of attrition, I reckon.
Look, any lead is a good lead. What was your ideal plan, sort of having a lead at halftime? What sort of lead would be ideal for you or for your team?
Oh, we'd love to be 6 goals up. Look, we'll take what we can get. It's going to go right down 4 quarters. So, I think around the stoppages, we're really, getting our hands on it. We're neutralising the centre clearance. So boys are doing really well.
Thanks, Chris.
Great stuff, Esmond Ponzo. Thanks to Life Care. Aaron Kirkby rode here to take us away with the second term of the first semi-final. Noble Park lead by a point.
And the ball goes straight up. Manson against Bird. Bird jumped all over him. Mendes in there, is wrapped up.
Well, actually, we only had 1 centre clearance in the first quarter, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
No goal scored.
Better than my 0.
Chris Barlow's under-19 side through to the grand final
Here's
as
a go.
well.
Ball comes out the back. Johnson kicks it inside 50 for Vermont. McComb having a race with Cody. Did really well there, Trent Cody, as he goes up to the wing. Herbal it out the back, but the boundary line will win and we'll have a throw-in.
I know it was only that centre clearance there, but Travis Bird has the ability, is a beautiful leap. He's going to really trouble Glenn Manson throughout the day, and if Vermont can take control of the centre clearances, they're in the box seat.
All thrown in. Manson did well, got his own tat and just kicked it high. Plays at the back. A couple of players jumped up and Monaghan takes another terrific mark. Plenty of them this afternoon for him. Hands off to Anderson, who kicks inside 50. Shane Allen all on his own. Don't know how that happened. Allen turns around, drills the ball looking for Martin, but it's over his head. Johnson will mop it up. Takes a bounce. And a second. Still that's not 50. Martin gives chase, but it's a lovely kick by Johnson.
That was really good play by Timmy Johnson. He didn't waste the ball and waited for Styles to lead up to him.
Styles goes long. And the wing Perry one out. Body position was good. Good spoil came in. Oh, terrible bounce for Robertson. Perry shrugged off one. Might have got a high tackle with
Holding
the
the
second.
ball.
But
No, I reckon that was definitely holding the ball.
right, hands off to Harper. Goes short to Kemperman.
And he was playing for the free kick as well, so that didn't help him.
Stewie Kemperman, he goes short to Harper. That went all about 8 metres.
Probably half of that, I reckon.
And they go another nice short one to Kelly. The man on the mark's almost effectively in the same position as the last kick.
They've had 3 possessions and they've not moved the mark.
Tim Kelly going with the socks down today. And pass over the top wasn't good. Chopped off by Davidson. He can give the hand pass into the middle. Set up Kirby McConnell though. Did really well to get the hand pass back to Davidson. Looking for McComb. They're out here, Vermont. Styles shakes the hips, delivers inside 50, looking for Davis. Good spoil from Robertson, who got to the front, fisted it out of bounds.
I actually thought Jaden Styles probably would have been entitled to go for goal there. I thought that was well within his kicking distance. I think they're becoming both sides are becoming too forward conscious and not taking the game on and trying to attack the goals.
Thrown again. Ball back, Harper's claimed.
Look, I tend to agree with you then. He had an opportunity then to go forward. It was open and he went to a 1-on-2.
Yep.
I just couldn't understand what he was trying to do then.
Another bounce. Side 50, Manson. Over the head of Kelly, dangerous. Now at the top of the square. Sketcher clears it. And I think he might have kicked that out in the full. Yeah, just got a little bit too much on it. And Emily will take the free kick. And this is not a hard kick with that breeze sort of coming from over his shoulders there.
Like to see you slot it.
I'll take you out there after the game, BWS, and show you how it's done.
This is not a hard kick tucked up against the fence.
Arguably the best kick on the media team. As Emily comes in and just misses to the near side.
So it's obviously when they're kicking the ball towards goal, they're kicking towards that left goal post, and the ball's just not dragging across.
I suppose the other thing is that so far we've seen 3 shots at goal and they've all been from the boundary line.
Yep.
That's the other thing, is they're not getting shots at goal, within that within the V at all.
No.
Boys, an update from East Burwood, all thanks to the local burger code. Danger signs still for Templestowe. 128 the Basin, 5-4-34 at quarter time. Even worse though, Anthony Mariani's gone down with an ankle injury. He'll be out for the rest of the day.
Oh, that hurts.
No, they've had a few big outs too with Sketcher. Tried to find Keeley, but it was chopped off by Perry. That was nicely done. Little handball over the top. He might receive it back now. Doubles back, somehow gets boot to ball. The short passes on. Mark couldn't quite be pulled down there by Davis, but he'll go after it again. Dives after it. He somehow also gets boot to ball. That was smothered. Over she goes for a boundary throw in about 35 metres out from goal.
Now that ball didn't move much, but that was pretty exciting to watch. Actually, there's some really good quality one-on-one contests and a lot of good 1%ers in.
Whale Buxton over the back, got the knockdown. Was okay. Bouncing football, Cody. It's time of the Trent variety. Had a little bit of time, so he handballed over the top. That's okay. Here's Sketcher. Arched the back, had a bounce. Created a little bit of space as well as he kicks it to the middle of the ground, which is just into no man's land. Preno could nearly just bang this home from there. Instead, he just pops it up to the pocket.
That's poor.
Not a good option, was it, Brash? Tim
No,
Kelly
that was poor.
Poor football on both occasions. Yep. They both didn't think about their disposal.
Just like that.
Kelly coughed it up as well as it comes back out. Vermont, short pass is on, and a strong mark's been taken by Perry. He had about 1.5 metres there on Peaver right, and he takes a strong mark about 40 metres out from goal directly in front. Will this be the first goal of the afternoon?
It's funny you should say that Joel Perry's the most dominant forward on the ground and he hasn't kicked a goal. He's the only key forward of either side that looks menacing.
And look, he could be the real difference because of that very fact, is that he's a target and he's confident, he's getting good air time, and he's getting a lot of the footy at the moment, but it's got to hurt him on the scoreboard.
Times he jumps really well. He stops a couple of metres beforehand and just goes straight up.
Had such a wonderful season as well. He comes in from about 48 metres. The goal up high does not move. Third time lucky there for Joel Perry, and he kicks his side first goal on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We've gone 6 minutes into the second term of the first semi-final, and it's a 6-point lead to Vermont, 1-3-9. Noble Park 3 behinds.
Well, that goal was basically created by both sides' poor execution of skill level. It ping-ponged back between the half-forward and back line of Noble Park, and neither side. Perry timed his jump very well and got a mark and kicked a lovely goal. Let's see what happens from now on.
Ball is back in the middle. Manson likes to do this, grabs it out of the ruck and just barrels it inside 50. Allen one out. This is so dangerous. Left the ball behind, had time to go back and get it himself. Picks out Anderson, who puts it on his boot. All on his own, there's Collis. He couldn't get a hold of it. And just players everywhere. Martin buzzing around. Still got his head over it, and we will have a bounce as Dan Keeley has been whacked into the ground. The amount of times he's been at the bottom of the pack today already.
The old bounce of the ball's hurt a few players already, hasn't it? With that, just not bouncing right for them.
Ball kicked off the ground by Preto. Cassidy will get there first. Lost the ball, but picked up by Wade McConnell, and he bangs the ball to the contest. Davis and Robertson, good spoil by Robertson. Real chance here. Horton Milne, and passes back. Sketcher goes over the top. Mark taken by Cody. This is Trent Cody. Played well so far. He's going to take the big switch into the wind, which is dangerous. Martin couldn't mark. Emily gathered at ground level. Hand pass over the top to Deneen. They've got a player on in the pocket. He hand passes. This is Wade McConnell for Vermont, running inside 50, and he drills it. 2 in a row for Vermont.
You just wonder, Noble Park in the first quarter wouldn't go inside at all because they were afraid of turning the football over. And so far they've gone inside 3 times in the last 5 minutes with poor inside choices, and balls turned over and kicked 2 goals through it. So it's so important that they've got to play to the team structures.
And so on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Noble Park 3 behinds now trail Vermont 2-3-15.
They do have the breeze as well, so it could mount. Whale Buxton will maybe give that one to him. Deneen came over the top. Anderson's hand out wide. Eventually in the arms there of Martin, who swings around on the right boot up towards the half-forward line. Bouncing football straight over the arms there of Anson. Had a little bit of support as well as the kick goes up towards the wing position. Good mark taken by Parker. He had a fantastic first term. Drives the ball inside forward 50 over the top there of Purdy's head. Perry was there also right on his hammer, and will have a boundary throw in about 35 metres out from goal.
Vermont's run on the turnover is really starting to worry Noble Park. When Vermont start moving the ball quickly, Noble Park just can't keep up.
And you can see they're getting it and going straight away. Like they did in the first 10 minutes of the first quarter, they're just getting and going. They're not stopping at all.
Whale Buxton over the back, knocked down. Plimman was in there. Kelly also. High will come in and bounce.
And really, the game is played on the way on Noble Park's terms. They like it in and under.
Daniel Keeley's in a fair amount of trouble over on the far side with Noble out of the second last contest.
Get Esmond to keep a close eye on that as the ball's in the arms of Perry, who wasn't paid the mark because it only went about 4 metres. And
he doesn't look good over there, Daniel Keeley.
Have a bounce.
And I can see there that Manson was not happy, and he's let the umpire know all about it too.
They're going after.
There's a fair bit going on here.
Yep.
Thought they were going after Parker for a second, but he sort of just ran off.
And Vermont have got a free kick out of this.
Yeah, they have, and it's Sketcher who's got the ball.
No, it's Davidson.
Sorry, I should say.
Now, this is what happened last week when Noble Park got rattled. All of a sudden, their discipline flew out the door, and it cost them goals. And once again...
So has Manson been sent off then? Because he's coming off. He's given away the free. Or that'd be 50 anyway, or 25 as well, wouldn't it?
Well, I didn't see any cards. It might be just a rotation.
Yeah. Oh, well.
He looks tired, though, Chuck, when he was running off there.
So the kick on goal will come from Shane Davidson. They already lead by 2 straight kicks, Vermont. This is a handy lead if he can kick straight, and he does so. The goal umpire, well, he has to move for the last 3 kicks from Vermont on the goals, and they put through their third on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and it's a good little display here, 10.5 minutes into the second term in the first semi-final. Vermont 3 goals, 3-21. Noble Park 3 behinds.
Well, obviously the Noble Park players weren't very happy with the way Daniel Keeley was treated. So obviously there was a little bit something off the ball. Well, then that's up to the umpires to be monitoring that. And I said that this morning.
It's crossed down boundary side, thanks to Life Care. Esmond DePonzo.
No, just confirming, no cards. It's just a rotation there for those plays.
Did Daniel Keeley looked a bit sick and sorry there coming off bench, Esmond?
He looked okay. I'll keep an eye on him for you. But he walked off the ground pretty well, jogged off the ground pretty well. But I'll keep an eye out for you.
Great stuff, Esmond. Back in the middle, as.
Virgin Fate goes up against it, but the tap went to Bird. Martin gets the clearance. I can see you laughing there. Advantage paid, I think, as Virgin goes inside 50.
Ever reliable Grant
He's a
McCarthy.
good player, isn't he?
Oh, he's a great player.
Makes a good mark. Goes wide, Johnson. Another one of those reliable defenders. Kicks to Bernie Deneen. He's got a left half back.
He's one of those players that will always get his first name said with his last name, Bernie, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he goes in short, finds McComb. And back to this chipping game. It's worked well. He goes in short, finds Mendes. He's going to swing around his left foot, and he does. He goes long and puts him inside 50. Players fly. Ground level. Robertson just tries to bustle his way through. Hand pass to right. Hand pass to Anderson to Kelly. Kelly goes back now to Robertson. So it's Plymouth. Dances around. Little hand pass inside. Not really going anywhere. Bull. It's back to man. Kick smothered now. This is dangerous times. Oh, on his own is Cam Purdy in the goal square. It's going to bounce over. Almost like he left it to bounce in the end.
A little bit
It's
filthy
gone
as
through
well.
for a behind, so Vermont extend their lead again.
And you can see again with Noble's use of the football, they're just panicking in that area, and they've really lost all their structure at the moment, Noble.
Kemperman to Sketcher. Almost out of the defensive arc. Short passes on. Oh, I'll tell you what, Predo's laid an okay tackle here. Well, it might have been game on there, but didn't sit up for Monaghan.
And again, that was just a poor disposal, wasn't it, out of defence? You know, a 15-metre kick that didn't hit its target.
Exactly right. Fake, got it back, but it was taken by McComb. He's had a bit of the football as well. Kicks it inside forward 50, bouncing football. Martin scooped on. He was looking for man. It bounced okay for him in the end. He wanted Kelly, but Deneen was not letting him go anywhere. He's like a little bull terrier.
When Bernie tackles them, they stay tackled.
No doubt about that. Let's see what can happen from here. Purdy going after it. Scoots out wide. Here's McConnell on the left boot. And he puts another one through. So that's his first goal of the afternoon. Kirby McConnell. He matches Wade's efforts only moments ago. And there's 4 goals on the board now.
That was Wade's second. That was Wade again. Yeah.
Damn it.
It's hard when they're 10-11 beat over us, isn't it?
4 goals, 4-28. A very handy lead now. It's out to 25 points.
Well, it's a dangerous time at this moment now. We've now got probably another 10, 15 minutes left of this quarter, and they're already skipped out to a 4-goal lead. They really need to do something about this.
Free kick again to Vermont. Starting to take control of the clearances and the centre clearances here.
Parker just came on the ground. He kicks into the man on the mark. He's a big man.
Got away with that.
Parker gets it back. Davidson kicks it inside 50. Good spoil from Davis coming from the back. Styles at the front. Couldn't control it. Flick over the top. Cody back to Robertson.
Good tackle.
Who just bustles his way through a couple. Great work. The hand pass to Anderson. They can run and carry. Here they go. Anderson gets the 1-2. Not a lot on. He's running sideways. And in the end, I tried to go backwards. Kicked the ground. Perry picked it up and was tackled by Anderson. And that sums up their day.
To make good then.
I know I've been really critical of Trent Robinson, but I can guarantee you he's probably been the only backman that's really throwing caution to the wind and trying to get things going for him.
Definitely has. And the problem then was that Anderson looked down the ground. There were 5 Vermont players across in a zone line. He had nowhere to go. He could not kick it down there, so he's tried to go inside and obviously stuffed his kick.
Umpire just stopping the play to have a chat to players. I feel as though you just pay a free kick. I'm telling them to settle down. They're all big boys. As Parker bustles his way through. It's a hand pass out Predo over his head. Kirby McConnell's little handball is slick to Purdy. Around the body for Cam Purdy. He's got his first. Vermont have their 5th.
And it's on again too at centre-half forward. There's a fair bit going on between Man and some others.
Buxton Wales.
Buxton Wales.
Yeah, Buxton Wales is a very, very physical player. Likes to get down and dirty, and he's not afraid to throw his weight around. And I think sometimes you got to have some players like that, Dave. I'm not going to take a backward step, but all in the right spirit.
Oh, exactly. Look, I just had a look then. There were 34 players inside from the square down in that contest then. 34. They only had 2 outside, so Vermont are just choking them to death.
Well, Mendes is carving him up, and McCafferty goes inside forward 50. Might have been some holding off the play here. It's going to be a free kick to Vermont.
This is vintage Daniel Mendes. 2 years ago, he was probably one of the best players that Vermont had midfielder. He's right. He is carving him up. I reckon he's had close to 20 possessions in this first half, and he's unstoppable.
Well, Mitch Davis, he wants to get amongst the goals because his side's kicked 5. He's kicked 59 for the year, and he thinks he deserves to be amongst those. So he'll go back. What a purple patch, pardon the pun, the Vermont Football Club are having at the moment. He'll come in and kick from about 45 metres out from goal. 45-degree angle. Waiting on the kick now. Distance not a problem, but he pushes it to the right-hand side. It's almost as if he poked at it in the end and threw for a minus score. That's their 5th on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They moved to 5-5-35, but a 32-point lead still over Noble Park, who are 3 behinds only. 17 minutes in, Man takes it from the kick in, and they'll go through Sketcher on the left boot out towards the half back line where Bird was there up against Cody, knocked over the boundary line and out of bounds. But I think it might be a free kick to Cody here. Luke Cody, looked Diggy Touchwood at best, but free kick to the Bulls across the half back line.
Cody, what to go to, and this get out of jail kick. Fredo spoils away.
Probably could have left that
from Monaghan, yeah.
And you know what? Vermont loved that. They just you kick it down there every day of the week, and now we get a chance to reload. So they're not trying anything at the moment, Noble. They're really rattled.
Virgin gets a tap down. Parker did really well at the base of the pack. Bernie Deneen gets on the inside, kicks over the top. McConnell couldn't mark Kelly. Hand pass to Peaver right. Looking for Robertson and mucking around with it. Going back and getting it was Bull. Now they can come through the middle. Sketcher, good kick, finds his man.
It's been good, Sketcher.
Yeah, he has. I agree. He's at least tried things.
Horton Milne, the hyphen, kicks inside 50, but again, Mark taking its Anson for Vermont. He brings it out to the other side.
Knock on the top.
They're over the top here. McComb can go. He gives it back to Styles, who takes a bounce. Davis ahead of him, decides to go longer, and here comes Staples. Leads up to the footy. Good spoil from Man over the top, and we'll have a throw in the right forward pocket.
Cole Staples has made a name for himself this year at Vermont at centre-half back, but I can guarantee you he can play centre-half forward, full forward, and he's capable of kicking big goals. If he gets on target, Vermont are going to win this game.
Update thanks to the local Burger Co. from Eastfield Reserve. 1 apiece in the second term. The Basin 6-4-40, Templestowe 2-2-14. That's 10 minutes into the second term. Also an update from Lilydale Sports Oval. It's North Ringwood at 3-2-20 leading Scoresby is yet to score in the Vets at quarter time.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Lifecare. Esmond.
A lot of the Noble Park players are giving a lot of attention to Adam Parker, but it's not helping them win the game today.
Comes out now, Keeley, spilt it, got it away, in underneath is Bull, brought to ground and will have a bounce, 50 metres out from goal. Vermont, they've dominated this second term, they've kicked 5 goals to zip. Noble Park haven't scored, is that correct?
Yep, 5, they were 3 points at quarter time.
Wright goes after it, spilled it, the umpire said it was okay, Plymouth little handball out wide and out of the Bulls, get the kick up towards the wing position. Martin was there, knocked away by McCarthy, that was good play. Earbulet tried to release the football, but a very strong tackle by his opponent there, and Connor McCafferty sees it. Stoppage, true centre wing position in front of the grandstand, in front of the broadcast position as the ball bounces out wide, trapped by Deneen, got the little handball away. He's looking for Fredo, who was almost out without the footy.
That's very undisciplined football there. The ball was going out of bounds, and he's just grabbed Andrew Petto and tried to sling him over the boundary line. That's poor decision making there by Aaron Erebiller.
I'll tell you what wasn't good as well. Tim Harper was running off the ground with the ball right behind him. Nobody communicated with him. He would have got the ball then.
Credo's kick goes up towards the half-forward line, came down to Plymouth, got the handball to Ryder, whose kick was smothered off the boot, so straight into the arms of Deneen, who wastes no time in taking off into the middle of the ground. Stolen by McConnon. He drives the ball forward. Just deading all the way is his brother. And now Kirby McConnon gets on the scoreboard. He kicks his first, and Vermont have 6 on the Bendigo back scoreboard. 21 minutes into the second term, and they are 6 goals for 40, and it's opened up to a very handy lead now.
That is exactly the way you need to play this ground. If you've got an outside, just a short inside, turn around, straight into that the dangerous area. That was just beautiful football, but gee whiz, Noble are making some mistakes. They look a team devoid of confidence at the moment. They don't know what they're doing and how they're playing.
Ball back in the middle. Parker, another clearance for him as he kicks inside 50, but to Sketcher, who intercepts. He goes wide to Kelly. These are the players that need some run and carry off to use the ball well. They've done it all season. Kelly goes over the top to Anderson.
Now they've got no one to kick it to.
He has to stop and prop. Hand pass back inboard.
Well, the zone's spot on.
Keeley drills the ball inside 50. What a kick that was. Martin's going to get paid.
No, I thought that was there. Yeah, I reckon that was there.
Got a little shove, Kyle Martin. Oh, it was clever from Wale Buxton. He put the ball on the ground and then thought better of it, picked it up, and just didn't want to risk giving away the 25.
Yeah, he won't make the distance.
So now you're not confident with the goal kicks today, BWS?
Well, the first quarter will show that. That's where my comments were made. But I think against a four-goal breeze, we've been told down there, I think this might just stretch him. So I want to see all the big men get down there.
Looks like he might just pop it to the top of the square. He goes for it, Kyle Martin. He gets plenty on it. And
disciplined play there by Stoke.
It's going to go to Vermont at the top of the square for some holding. So they don't get a score. It's going to be Wale Buxton to relieve.
So he goes short. Mark taken by Styles. Perry's screaming for it across half-back. That's ignored. Might go for a little bit of a switch here. And why not? Mark's taken there by Sam Anson. Short passes on again. Credo. He's had a bit of the football in this second term. It's been good. Kick goes wider to Styles, who now can probably take off. No. Harper was quick to find his mark. So really gained nothing over the last few bits of play. And I'll tell you what, a fair old contest there from
Sketchers down.
There was nothing in. There was absolutely nothing in that. Both players were committed to the contest, and just unfortunate. One bloke came off second best, but got the free kick. The umpire looked after him. He got head high tackle. Nothing towards.
So, highest number 1 supporter today, Wayne Brusher.
Yeah.
Sketcher. Well,
look at,
got a little bit fancy and then put himself under a lot of pressure kicking the ball inside 450, but it was touched off the boot, so it might come out okay here. Here's Cody, got the little boot away, picked up there by Wale Buxton, who Erbelet's right on his hammer. He might get picked, and he will be. So a kick on goal for the Bulls from about 40 metres out, about a 40-degree angle, and bit of back chat sees a 25-metre penalty.
He's put the ball on the ground again. He's just a bit smarter than that.
I think they've run a bit. Just go out there and tell him to settle down a bit, because that was he didn't learn from the first time, or he did, but this time he just got frustrated.
One of the stingiest 25-metre penalties I've seen in quite some time too.
I reckon he should be.
I agree.
So an important kick by Aaron Erbelet, who puts it over the goal umpire's head. The Bulls are finally on the board with a goal.
To say they needed that goal was just an absolute understatement.
They moved to 139 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and they're trailing by 32 points. Vermont are 6-5, 41, 25 minutes in.
Just a young kid made 2 mistakes, and he picked the ball up and turned his back on the contest, which meant that he had time. He just picked the ball up and stayed front on, he would have been tackled, no prior opportunity. Turned his back, gave that, then put the ball down on the ground. He'll learn from that, but you just can't afford to do that in your own back 50.
Ball back in the middle. Both Ruckman went out, Bernie Deneen did well, just got the ball to spill out. Parker and Horton Milne go hard, did well to Harper. Harper hand passes up to Monaghan. Kicks it to a contest. Shane Davidson's good overhead, couldn't bring this one down. Plenty of players around there. Harper again to Kemperman, clever little tap. Horton Milne, done well keeping his body over it, but it gets through now. McComb, his handball Missed the target ball. It's been okay across half back. Anderson really starting to come into the game to sketch who's running. Carry's been good. He gets away from Purdy, runs through the middle of Jubilee Park and drills the ball to half forward, and Kyle Martin marks over his head, plays on straight away. Little chipping ball to Allen, who takes a nice mark, plays on. Shane Allen on the left, kicks the goal. 2 in a minute for Noble Park.
Well, they needed to, because the way the game was panning out, they were going to get run over, but full credit to them. They've come back in the last 2 or 3 minutes with some uncharacteristic turnovers by the Vermont boys in that case. There always comes a time, Davo, where a couple of times a side's going to get their moment where they need to, their moments in the game. Noble Park have got to seize this moment now, otherwise it could get out of hand after half time.
Exactly right. You can't win these sorts of games, be 100% on top all the time.
Well, they might get another go here as the kick goes towards the Allen direction. MacArthur got the handball away. That was okay. Anson, who's having some sort of a game as well, kicks it in towards the middle where it might bounce favourably for Bernie Deneen, who goes after on the second bite. Copped one on the shoulder. Only eyes for the football. You're always going to reward that.
And it was a 1-on-3 too.
So Deneen. Kick goes in goalwood. He was looking for the spearhead in Davis. Eventually finds him. Robertson might just keep the ball alive, but no, the umpire said over she goes, 50 metres out from goal. Let's go down boundary side, thanks to Life Care. Esmond.
That second goal to Shane Allen has given really good voice for the Noble Park supporters here.
Best seat in the house today, Esmond DePonzo. Balls to be thrown back in. Whale Buxton. Over the back, will slightly give that one to him. Manson, little handball out wide. Kemperman was almost helped without the football there. Vermont, quick kick in forward. Perry couldn't quite trap it. McConnon, little handball out. Mendes is there. Monaghan, he's given away a free kick. Sam Monaghan, and he knew it as soon as he did it. It was Tiggy Touchwood, but it was there.
As soon as you get the bike pushing forward in a forward motion, the umpires are going to favour that push in the back, Davo.
It was just clumsy, wasn't it? It was a clumsy free kick at a vital opportunity. Kicks this and it takes away the momentum.
Yep.
Well, what a game he's having, Daniel Mendes.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Vermont Football Club after a year hiatus in season 2014.
Yeah, he was actually up. He actually played up at Ararat because he was stationed up there as a policeman, and he was doing his trade up there for a year.
Comes in now. He'll kick from 35 just to stem the tide, because Noble have owned the last few minutes. He leans over the ball and he puts it over the goal umpire's head. That's a goal. You can hear the crowd in the background. That's 7 now for the Vermont Football Club.
Obviously, there's a lot of
7 goals, 5, 47 on the Bendigo.
Sorry, BWS.
Noble Park 2 goals, 3-15.
Obviously, there's a lot of feeling there between Adam Parker. They feel that he was the instigator of the Daniel Keeley incident early in the second quarter. So Sam Monaghan still wanting to let him know about it. I would suggest to Sam Monaghan that he should concentrate on playing football and rather not the man.
Interleague teammates, those two boys at the start of the year as well. Ball goes forward for Noble Park. Davidson just really got worried out of it. Shane Allen picks it up. Little left foot kick was a beauty. And Kyle Martin marks on the lead. 20 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
When the Noble Park runners actually want to run, then suddenly the game comes alive. But when they want to stop and prop and cop, nothing happens. So they've been running from that midfield the last couple of times. Get it forward, they're dangerous.
And here comes Kyle Martin. Hasn't hit the scoreboard yet, and he misses a crucial kick for goal to the left-hand side. 2-4-16, Noble Park. They trail Vermont 7-5-47 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Would have been handy on the stroke of half-time to get that goal.
Let's go around the grounds, thanks to the local burger company, Dyson Baker. What's happening out at East Burwood in Division 3?
Yeah, still in favour of the Basin. They're doing it all their own way. Each of two, but still comfortable. 40-15, still in favour of the Bears.
Well, it's half-time out here, Dice, in the first semi-final in Division 1, and it is all Vermont. What a second quarter it was. 7 goals they piled on and 2 behinds to move them to 7-5-47. They are leading Noble Park, who are 2-4-16. A lead of 31 handy points going into half-time. Major goal kickers on the ground. Wade McConnon has 2. The rest are single goal kickers. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast tonight 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live around the globe on EFL.org.au. Will Taylor is out at East Burwood today, and we'll be having a chat to him at halftime to see what's happening between Templestowe and the Basin, with the Bears holding a lead for most of the first half. And I think we'll go in at halftime with the lead that's crossed back to Dyson Baker, who's having a very nice Father's Day out at Croydon, and we'll be back with more second half action right after this.
Hey man, yeah man, it's crunch time. Is that footy speak? Nah man, it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour with the salted caramel crunch.
Yeah, house-made warm salted caramel sauce and roasted almonds on 2 buttermilk pancakes topped with vanilla ice cream.
Yeah man, it's crunch time at the G, and then it's crunch time at Pancake Parlour.
So this is footy speak then?
I'm just saying man, like the salted caramel crunch would be great to have after a day at the footy.
Oh, Pancake Parlour open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
Oh, Barry. He was a great guy. A real larrikin. He loved his footy, was a loyal Carlton supporter. This year's our year, he'd say. He always had Slim Dusty blaring through his speakers. So at Barry's send-off, his coffin was painted navy blue. And Slim Dusty's looking forward, looking back filled the room.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, our motto is, if it's legal, it's possible. Visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday, thanks to Crocs Play Centres. From 10 till 2 every Sunday morning, the EFL media team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all the seniors, reserves and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tax. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week, and I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
Why don't you just go away? I can't seem to get my head straight.
Welcome back to the studios, Radio Eastern here on EFL Game Day Sunday. Dyson Baker back in Croydon, where it is a lovely 16 degrees, a bit of cloud overhead, but perfect conditions for football. Going right around the games that are happening across the Eastern Football League 3 this afternoon, of course, the one you've been listening to, that the Vermont Football Club just took a commanding lead in that second term of the Vermont lead, 7-5-47, leading Noble Park 2-4-16 in their first semi-final clash in Division 1. In the other game, going on is over at East Burwood Reserve, and it's the Basin potentially causing the upset of the finals so far. They led 6-4-40, Templestowe, the Basin, yes, led 6-4-40 over Templestowe 2-2-14. Just looking through at another update coming through from Will Taylor, an injury hit to Templestowe's Paul Fiorenza and also the Basin's Josh and Adams. The boys will have a chat to Will in just a few moments. We'll update you on the AFL score that's going on at the moment. Of course, only 2 games this afternoon, only one going on at the moment. Started at 1:10 and currently 2 minutes into the final term. It's Melbourne 13-10-88 leading GWS 10-7-67. That's one going on over at Docklands. Hogan has 3, so too Newton for the Demons. Jones 27 touches, Vincent 27 touches, while for the Giants, Callum Ward has 22 touches and Williams has 2 goals. The other game going on this afternoon is the old rivals taking on each other, and that's all just about to kick off at 3:20 p.m. I think we're about 3:18 p.m. at the moment. So Collingwood and Essendon to kick off at the G, but while we wait for an update coming through from both the Veterans Grand Final, which is happening over at Lillardale Warts Oval between North Ringwood and Scoresby, and also the Division 3 prelim between Templestowe and Basin, we might head back to the boys for the BGC Bayswater post-match show.
Thanks, Dyson. It's a great game out here, not really for the quality of football, but certainly a better second term. But first off on the pie set half-time show, we're going to cross to Will Taylor, who's out at East Burwood. Wilbur, you there?
Yes, absolutely. I tell you what, I don't know what you're missing out here at East Burwood Reserve, because we've seen a great game of footy out here between the Basin and Templestowe in the Premier League finals, and at the moment the Basin leads Templestowe 6-4-40 to 3-4-22. Templestowe trailing by 3 goals at the moment, and I tell you what, there's a blustering breeze going to the residential end of East Burwood Reserve, and that's about a 4 to 5 goal breeze, and the Basin really took advantage of it in the first quarter, led by 26 points at quarter time, and of course they kicked the first goal of the second quarter going to the Burwood Highway end, but it's been all Templestowe, but they just haven't quite taken advantage of this game so far, and that's why the Basin holds a 3-goal advantage.
And we heard there's a big injury out there for Templestowe.
Yeah, absolutely. It happened late in that first quarter. Anthony Mariani went down with an ankle injury, hamstring injury, and he might be out for the rest of this game, but which would be a huge blow for Templestowe, because he's played a great first quarter so far for Templestowe, but it'd be at the moment questions to be answered for the Dockers at the moment.
Well, it's Brash here, mate. I understand Templestowe injury woes still continue, because I believe Paul Fiorenza's also injured as well.
Yeah, he went off in the second quarter as well. It looks like it was a bit of an ankle injury as well for him as well, and which might be a bit of a blow, because 2 of them gone. They're already down to about 2 on the bench at the moment, Templestowe.
Yep.
And on the other front, the Basin has an injury themselves as well, which was about a minute later with Josh Adams went down there as well with just a bit of cramps at the moment. But when it first happened, it looked worse than what it was.
What are the Basin doing right, Will?
Look, they're really spreading Templestowe out on the wing, especially the scoreboard side of the wing at the moment, and really breaking down the Templestowe defence and winning that midfield battle, which we've rarely seen from the Basin all year, especially the games we saw on the radio games a couple of times this year. And I just think at the moment they're taking advantage of Templestowe's, overplay defence at the moment, but also on top of that, is that Templestowe just wasting opportunities when they've hit a couple of times out of bounds on the full, not judging the wind properly as much as they wanted to.
Wilbur, do they hang on in the second half, the Bears, and why?
I think the Basin can. They'd be kicking into the win in that third quarter. I just think they've just done enough at the moment to see, especially with that big blow for Templestowe with Anthony Mariani. And I just think you see the likes of Ennis Colchera, Jackson Keane, even Trevor Mills and Matt Kruger. I thought those 2 players in particular really got the Basin hanging in there in the second quarter when Templestowe really fought back. But I think the Basin will get it, and only probably about 5 goals at this stage.
Well, thank you very much, Wilbur, for your efforts out there. We'll get updates from you throughout the day.
Yeah, no worries at all. Looking forward to doing a post-match show about this game.
Will Taylor there out of East Burwood for the big match between, obviously, the Basin and Templestowe. Back here at Jubilee Park, boys, how have we seen this game play out? We saw a couple of patches there from Noble Park. It was definitely a better second quarter of football. We saw 9 goals in that quarter compared to none in the first.
Yeah, well, look, Vermont, like we said at quarter time, they were cock a hoop about holding Noble Park goalless, and it was like a soccer game. Both sides were really playing the wings, and neither wanted to take ownership of the midfield. And we did say quarter time that if Vermont started playing down that middle corridor, they were going to need to take advantage of the wind, and they have. 7 goals 5 to 2 goals 4 in that in that quarter, and it leaves them 5 goals up at half time. Now, as Dave and I talked about, there comes a time where a side gets one shot and probably not many more opportunities to get back in the game. Noble Park, for mine, have to own the first 10-15 minutes of the third quarter. If they can't score, I think Vermont could, and Vermont score on the at least a couple of goals against the wind, I think it could be curtains for them.
Oh, definitely. And I think if you look at it, have a look at the 7 goals that were scored. They were all within the 45. I mean, that was the key. I think 3 of them were from short passes inside that area, which again is important. Where you looked at Noble in that first quarter where they just bombed long to one-on-one contests. However, in the second quarter, in that last 10 minutes, Noble got back into it because they started to get their runners to actually run. They actually carried the football well, moved it well, and hit their targets up forward, who, apart from Kyle, that was a very disappointing miss at the end then, because if he kicked that goal, I know it doesn't put them level, but a goal closer is really important coming into that half-time break when you know you've got the breeze in the second half. And look, I agree with Brash. First 10 minutes of this next quarter, it basically is the game. If Vermont hold on, I think it's going to be very, very tough for Noble to get back, but if Noble can kick 2 or 3 and start to own that middle area, then we've got a game on, and that's something that we certainly want to see.
One of the positives I think that I've seen, probably in the space I think of 5 minutes, Noble Park look as though they might be able to score slightly quicker. Vermont do score quick as well, but that could be one positive, that if they get going with the breeze, they could maybe really outscore them and be in front at 3/4 time. But that's really the only hope they've got, I think. I don't think they can afford to chip away, because you saw that quarter, 7 goals to Vermont.
When Shane Allen and Kyle Martin go out one-on-one, they definitely can beat their opponents. But they've got to. But the thing is, the Noble Park midfield and the halfback have got to kick the ball long to create those opportunities for them. And unfortunately, Noble Park just seem to, are not backing the first option. They're always looking for the safe option. And on a ground like Ringwood, you can't afford to be playing the safe option too much when you're 5 goals behind.
Because it is a very long way around, isn't it, Davo?
It certainly is. And the other thing is, I noticed a number of times that quarter, Anderson got the football. I thought he was really good that quarter. He got the football well, he got out into the right spaces, but he had no options down the ground. And then eventually he had to take him on himself, and he ran through the middle a few times and delivered the ball well. So they really need to give him the football, get him to break loose, and then they have got those options. I'll be really interested to see how they structure up Noble. They've got to have a tall down deep with this breeze and allow their smalls up the ground. They can't afford to fall into that trap of putting Kyle Martin full forward with the breeze, especially if there's other forwards down there. Bring everyone else up the ground and then make the defender nervous by being a one-on-one with Kyle Martin. But if you just bring them all down there, then suddenly you lose your advantage. And if you don't have that tall to at least bring the football down, then that's where Vermont were very good in the first quarter in out-marking and running the ball out.
Well, it certainly will be interesting as the umpires are out and Vermont have just come out of the rooms. We're just awaiting Noble Park. We might clear a couple of sponsor messages back in the studio with Dyson Baker. It's been the Pie Shed halftime show here. We hope you enjoyed it. We will get updates from Will Taylor throughout the afternoon from East Burwood, but we'll be back with the third term just after this.
For the best EFL wrap on radio, don't miss EFL Sunday, thanks to Crocs Play Centres from 10 till to Every Sunday Morning, the EFL media team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all the seniors, reserves and under-19 matches. EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Hey man.
Yeah, man.
Can you smell it?
Smell what?
It's my favourite smell in the world. Oh, footy season.
Yeah, man, like you can smell the grass at the Mighty G.
Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Parlour.
They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've chewed your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate.
Oh, it's made with pure Belgian chocolate, seriously decadent.
Oh, Pancake Parlour, open 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
It's difficult to see through a dirty window, but once you clean it, you can clearly see the view. Tobin Brothers Funerals is just like a clean window. Its easy-to-use website and Memory Maker app are so transparent, you don't need to clear the cobwebs to find the information you need. It's all there for you to see and make an informed decision when planning a loved one's funeral. Download Tobin Brothers Memory Maker app today. It's free from iTunes and Google Play. Or find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, welcome back out here to Jubilee Park for the big semi-final between Noble Park and Vermont. Currently it's Noble Park 2-4-16, trailing Vermont 7-5-47. Vermont, the umpires have been on the ground for a while. Noble Park have just emerged from the rooms after half-time, so we'll be underway very, very shortly. It's going to be a big third term with Noble Park kicking with the wind.
They have to, and they've got to play. They've got to take ownership of the corridor this quarter, because if they don't, it's going to be a long, hard road for them, because they just cannot afford to play the wings and that game style in like they did in the first quarter. They have to take the game on.
I think Jackson Sketcher's been their best player, just because he's got the footy, he's run and carried it, and he's been direct. Who else do they need to jump in and really help them out in this second half?
Well, I don't think it's very hard. I mean, Manson's trying hard in the ruck. Fake's not anywhere in the contest. They don't seem to be able to get enough run. Kevin Keane hasn't done much today. Tim Kelly's struggling down back. I think Trent Robinson has tried very hard to try and create some run, as well as Jackson Sketcher, easily their best player. Shane Allen sort of been in and out of the game and starved of opportunities, and the same as Kyle Martin. They've got to generate something from the midfield, because the tandem of Bird and Wales Buxton is really starting to wear.
I'm really excited about the first 15 minutes, because it's now or never for the Noble Park Football Club.
I'd like to see Fake go to full forward, put him to full forward, or put Manson to full forward. Just put the big body down there, surround him with others, and see what happens. Otherwise,
can he take a mark though? That's my worry. There's two big ruckmen they've got. They don't look as though they can clunk one.
But at least if they can bring the ball down the ground, they've got quality smalls. But at the moment, they've just got nothing to aim for.
Well, they've got Fake on the bench, so they obviously realised that Vermont have got two ruckmen, so they're going to have to manage Manson with Fake as much as what Vermont are doing with Buxton Wales. So they're obviously trying to go ruckman for ruckman here. So it's going to come down once again, like I said, to the midfield.
Well, down in the forward line, he's really got to produce this quarter. This is the quarter where he's got to stand up and give them something in that area. And Vermont have gone one loose in defence already.
I don't think Noble Park can afford to allow that to happen.
Ball back in the middle. Manson wins a tap down. Harper, ball squeezed out. Plenty of players around it. Parker again. Little hand pass out to McComb. He goes on the left shoe inside 50. Davis underneath it. Good spoil from Robertson. Davis keeps it in front of him. Just fell over and players fell on his back.
It's well done by Davis.
It was, wasn't it? He just played that well the whole time. Then kept his body in front, slowed down, got the free kick.
The ball left half forward. Mitch Davis goes to the top of the square. It's a dangerous kick, but no one really there. And Sketcher jumps across, takes the mark. He might get run down. Got his kick away. Kemperman fumbles it at half in the back pocket. Had players on, comes back to Kelly, who again's under pressure. He just lost the footy. Umpire said it was okay. Manson trying to work at his feet. Comes out Robertson. Your problem handball back to Kelly, who worked it out well. A nice kick. Keeley can just get on the end of it. It's a bit lackadaisical at the moment, Noble Park, out of the back line. Kemperman just bangs it out of there, but it's Purdy who'll clean up for Vermont. He can't control it.
But he had 5 yards.
And passes backwards.
Well, he's the loose man. That's the reason.
Johnson.
He's the loose option down there. So you kick it long to that situation, he's always going to be able to get it and clean it up.
Sam Anson's marked. It looks as though they might play this chipping game again. Limit the damage into the wind. And he kicks along the line. Cody lost possession. Ball comes out the back. Oh, not a good handball. Again, Cody just put his head over it. And we will have a bounce at left half back for Noble Park.
Once again, this is really suiting Vermont. They've already chewed up 2 minutes of this quarter, and there's really only been no foray into Noble Park's forward line yet.
Ball up. Manson wins a tap, but Parker sharks it for Vermont. Kicks inside looking for Perry. One-on-one with Wright. Joel Perry takes possession and does well and holds the ball up, and we'll have a bounce deep in the right forward pocket. Ball goes up. Joel Perry will contest it. Secondary there. Slimman was in there. Anderson, nice handball. Not going to be able to control it as Monahan does now. Comes through the middle. Good kick. This will open it up a little bit. Mark taken by Keane. Sells a bit of candy. So Keane now through the middle of the ground. Good. Lowers his eyes well to Shane Allen, who takes a mark just inside 50.
Much better play there by Noble Park.
Sam Monahan took that risk through the middle. And well done by Kevin Keane.
There you go, and you know, it's that risk through the middle, and you've got to in this situation. And suddenly they opened up their forward line, and they could have gone long, but Purdy was running down in deep, so they've gone short beautifully.
So Shane Allen's already got one today. Sets it up, looks pretty good off the boot. Great kick from Shane Allen. Noble Park have the first of this third term, and they needed that. 3-4-22. They trail Vermont 7-5-47 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Exactly what the doctor ordered there for Noble Park. Much more direct play through centre half, back and through the midfield. Good play by Kevin Keane. Spotted up Shane Allen on the lead, and he didn't let the side down with a beautiful kick from outside 50.
The odd thing for me, that was almost as if Monahan was forced to go through the middle. He was looking wide, and the lead came. So
glad he got it to Allen as well, because he actually started his lead from about 20 metres out and could have got to him a little bit earlier. But nonetheless, it goes through the big sticks, and the margin is reduced. Bird goes after it. He's brought to ground, got the little handball away. Here's McConnon, bangs it on his boot towards the Davis direction. It does a little bit of a wrong-un. Peever right for the Bulls. He probably had a little bit more time than what he was told. Kicked it out towards the Keane direction. He's got 2 Eagles to beat, and they just can't keep it in. Daniel Mendez, over she goes.
He did well, Keane, then. Outnumbered 2-1 and managed to keep the ball to a neutral situation.
4 minutes into the third term, first semi-final. Comes out, Bird, gets boot to ball. Probably got about 20 metres in the end, and over she goes for another boundary throw-in. Margin here is 25 points. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live around the globe, efl.org.au. If you're out at East Build, at Footy EFL via Twitter. Whale Buxton got the knockdown straight into the arms of Plymouth, who's quickly wrapped up and will now have a bounce and another stoppage, but the ball hasn't moved. It's still about 45 metres out from the Vermont goals as Manson got the knockdown. Harper's on hands and knees. He's wrapped up by Adam Parker and will have a bounce.
And that's where Plymouth's got to become a little bit more dangerous. He is the loose down there. He's just too close to the contest. He's now backed away to a quarterback position, but that's where he's got to be.
Comes down Harper on hands and knees, just scoops it out. Herbelet, little handball away. Monahan just shrugged off a tackle, got it away to Mann, whose handball went out wide, but forced over for a boundary throw-in. Good pressure there by Vermont.
He looks like he's got so much time when he gets the ball, Sam Monahan. Everyone seems to just run past him.
Hire brings it in once again. Big man Manson got the little handball away. Ball was in there, but couldn't release it, so we'll have a bounce just inside the arc. Down Vermont's end, they lead by 25 points, 5.5 minutes into this third term. Whale Buxton knocked down, straight into the arms there of Bull. Brought to ground in a strong tackle by his opponent there in Xavier Barry Murphy, and we'll have a bounce 40 metres out from goal, as.
Well, Buxton just belts it forward. Clement floated across, couldn't take possession. Perry could for Vermont. A little hand pass off to Bernardini on the left foot. Does a disciplined thing to the top of the square, but unfortunately it's all Noble Park. Monahan to Kelly. Just hasn't had his kicking boots on today, Tim Kelly. He just misses the target again. Robertson will clean it up now for Noble Park. He just bangs it long. It's going to carry that extra man sitting back. Purdy, well tackled by Martin.
Oh, that's a
didn't get rid
hurler
of the
of a
footy.
tackle.
Umpire didn't reward him though. Kick goes forward by Kemperman, one-on-one. Real dangerous position here for Allen. Doing well though was Anson. He just paddles that about 25 metres backwards and over the line, and we'll have a throw-in.
That was better from Cole Martin. That's what you want. You want your forwards to attack the contest as hard as they can, and he nearly created a turnover then.
It's just a good enough kick from Robertson just to get it over that little wall they had, Vermont. Now the ball comes out of the pack. Keeley kicks a goal! Daniel Keeley, that's what they needed.
If the Bulls really need to get back into this game, this is the quarter they have to do it. They've got to try and at least get close to Vermont at three-quarter time just to get some perceived pressure so that Vermont don't think they're going to get it all their own way in that last quarter.
On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it's Noble Park 4-4-28 at Trail Vermont 7-5-47.
Difference is that they're getting hands on the ball around the contest at the moment, Noble, which is something they didn't do early on. So, you know, they continue to do that. They're going to continue to put pressure on the Vermont mids and Vermont defensive area.
Margin back to 19 points. Exciting stuff. Pye throws it up. Fake. Got the knockdown in the end. Harper was there. He was wrapped up and we'll have a bounce.
He's been a bit of a workhorse today, Harper. He's worked pretty hard in those contests.
Last goal by Keeley, certainly a contender for the Pancake Parlour Player of the Day, but it's now for the Eagles to go forward towards Davis, bouncing football. He just shrugged off Robertson in the end, but the bounce just didn't do him any favours. Robertson mops up, gets the handball away. Kelly on the right boot will kick it out towards the half-back line once again. Disappointing kick, trapped there by Johnson, kept the ball alive, but Parker's been told to come back. Not sure what's happening here. Out of bounds it is, so 70 metres out from goal, Vermont's end.
Oh, well, he took a bounce then, Mitch Davis. Didn't need to.
Try to get too cute.
Pye throws it in, fake over the back, picked up by Mendez, got the handball away to Deneen out wide. He was looking there for Johnston, who got it to Embley. Look away handball for Fredo. It was silly, but the dinosaur fake just gets it and gave the little bit of a shrug away, kicked it up towards the Allen position, but it just did a wronging on him as well. Once again, the ball not doing favourably for either side as it's kick to kick out here in front of the grandstand. Fake takes the mark, goes back to Sketcher. Good shepherd there by Fake, created a little bit of space, and the kick goes up towards the Monahan direction. Got the quick handball up to Horton Milne on the left boot, up towards the half-forward line. Cody's out there and he takes it of the Luke variety. He's out 70 metres out from goal. Allen just screaming for it. He's going to go into that direction now. He's at the back there, knocked away. Ball hits the deck. Mendez is in there over the top. Allen might have nearly given away for a kick. Umpire said all was fair. Let's have a bounce 20 metres out from goal.
That was really disappointing from Cody. He had the ball far too long to go back. He had two free players inside, missed them both.
Yeah. Options gone begging. Anderson, little handball out wide. Umpire said, let's just restart this one.
Boundary.
It's crossed down boundary side. Thanks to Lifecare Esmond.
Noble Parker, Virgin Fake doing really well in the ruck and also taking a couple of marks early in the third quarter.
Trailing by 19 points, straight into the arms of Shane Davidson. One of Rash's favourites. Dan Beard to restart this game. 25 metres out from goal. It's down Noble Park's end. They have the breeze. They trail by 19 points, third quarter in here. And we've gone 10 minutes in the third term. Monahan tried to keep the ball alive. Some thought he might have actually done that in the end, but I said no, it went over the paint. Let's have a boundary throw in.
Just about all 36 players in one half of the ground.
Spot on, Davo. Comes in. Man over the back. Preto was in there. Got the little handball out. That's okay.
That's out in the full.
Looping kick out wide. Just wanted to get out of the danger zone. Davidson saw it over on the full. Peter Wright, who's almost on the half-forward line now for Noble Park, shrugs the boundary line. He was looking for Luke Mann, but the kick wasn't crash hot at all.
Again, why would you choose to kick it into that dead area there? Kick it long into it somewhere where it's dangerous and put the Vermont defenders under pressure.
Pye throws it in. even Steven in the ruck contest. Deneen took it from the stoppage, got the handball away, and now the Eagles might be able to work themselves up towards the wing here. Davis was there, Robertson had the front spot, ball spills loose, and now they'll have their chance up towards the wing. But once again, there's a few disposals letting it down each side here. McConnell had to give it to Sketcho, took the free kick, got it away to Kelly now, link up with Kemperman, who's been relatively quiet in towards the middle of the ground. He goes. Monahan, who's certainly been the opposite, will switch it out wide now. Jared Plimman takes the mark. He's still in the centre square
Got
here.
Anderson on inside 50 all by himself.
Goes all that way as well. Good spot up there as Anderson takes the mark, low to ground, and he's about 55 metres out. I'm not convinced he can kick this, and you saw Stewie running up there. That would have been the perfect link, but Craig Anderson, the heart and soul of the Noble Park Football Club, would love to be spurred on by a great kick by him, and going, and through for one behind. So he had to push for the distance. 12 minutes in on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Noble Park moved to 4 goals, 5-29, and it's back to 18 points. Vermont 7-5-47.
Boys, update from Eastfield Reserve. It's back to a 24-point lead as Lachlan Cripps slots his first, and at the 7-minute mark of the third quarter, it's the Basin 7-4-46, Templestowe 3-4-22.
Oh, look out.
Birdie goes wide, finds Mendez. Too easy, they got a defensive 50 then. He goes into the middle, misses the target though over his head. Horton Milne will pick it up and get a little hand pass. Kemperman missed it, and he might get a free kick.
Yep. Just tell you what, they're lucky there. You've got to take those chances of a turnover, and then straight away they coughed it up.
Kemperman plays on straight away and goes long. Shane Allen and Kyle Martin comes out, takes the mark. Just got lost there. The ball sort of floated inside 50 from Kemperman, but he put it to the right spot, and Kyle Martin's on the end of it.
And that's the key, isn't it? He put it to the dangerous position. Not kicking it into a pocket, or straight into that dangerous spot.
Kyle Martin missed a crucial one just before half-time, and he comes in, makes no mistake with this one. Noble Park get another one. 3 in a row to start the term to the Bulls, and they're right back in this one. 5-5, 35. They trail Vermont 7-5-47. We've been going 13 minutes in this third term.
I think Mick Fogarty's had a few wins in this first half of the third quarter. I think he's got the matchups right. He's got Trent Robinson on Mitch Davis. That's a really good matchup. Perry and Peeva Wright are opposing each other, and I think they're nullifying each other. I think that it's the Noble Park midfield that's just starting to run on top of the ground a little bit.
So almost 14 minutes on the clock, third term, first semi-final in Division 1. We've got a game on our hands. 12 points is the margin. Umpire throws it up. Manson got a fair old roost on at that time, charging his way through there with Sketcher. Manson picked it up again, just rode the bump, released it. Deneen was in and under as well, so too was McCafferty. Eventually the umpire will come in and bounce it down bid.
I reckon there's going to come a time, BWS, where both sides know they're going to have to put it all on the line. I reckon it's about 5 minutes away.
Looks like he's having a good old time too, Dan. Umpire throws it up. Whale Buxton, he'll go after it again. Nicely done there by, I think that was Keane in there, bottom of the pack.
They've made the right player loose for Noble at the moment. Kelly's loose and he's a good runner, so they've got to use him.
Vermont have got a loose player behind the play also as he kicks it up towards the half-forward line now for Noble Park, bouncing football. Handball over the top, McCafferty goes out wide, and now the Eagles through Deneen will have a chance on the wing position to set themselves up. Just slowing things down here. Hasn't even looked forward yet, Bernie. He's either been sorting out behind or to the side and eventually goes backwards. McCafferty takes the mark. Got a little bit fancy, that was good. Emily, who had a ripper opening first 10 minutes, takes the mark.
Got to be careful doing this at this time of the quarter. You've got to still be moving forward, still be creating options.
12 points the margin. Vermont have the lead. Handball goes back. Here's Barry Murphy. Back to Emily. He might use Paredo's left boot. And he should have as well because he just really blazed away there.
That was really, really ugly and poor decision making by both those Vermont players there. That really was not the right play at the right time.
Right in front of the coach too.
He'll be making them sure. He'll be making them, telling them about that one.
Cody goes short.
And this is where they've changed. They've decided to take a few more chances by going sideways and then running, and this is what you've got to do. Out wide again.
Kelly to right, to Robertson, to Plymouth on the right boot. Spears a pass up. Monahan takes it. He's at centre half forward now. They're 2 kicks away. They're screaming for it long. Fake to fly from the back. He got one hand on it, knocked over the boundary line, and free kick to Fake. So it was almost a 3-on-1 situation, and he just held his neck as if he was felled upon, and he's still holding it as well. So he'll receive the free kick, the big man, and he'll kick from only 15 metres out from goal, and we're going to be back to a 1-goal ball game.
Yep. They must have heard us because Fake's gone down deep, and suddenly they've gone long to the big man, and they've created something. So again, you put in the dangerous positions. Defenders panic when that happens, and so that's what they've done.
I'm sure the neck will be feeling just fine when he pops this one straight over the goal umpire's head. That's his first goal of the afternoon, and Noble Park, they're within a kick on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard 7 minutes in.
We said at
17, I should say.
We said at half-time that Noble Park had to come out in the first 10 minutes and show intent. They have done so. They've kicked the opening 4 goals. They are now back in the contest.
Oh, not only that, they're better than they're making Vermont create poor options. They're also running the ball a bit better. They've changed their structure, changed their style. They're in good position at the moment.
Ball back in the middle. Monahan, his head over it. Parker went in. Geez, he's been terrific again today. Great handball. Sets them free. McCafferty's kick inside 50, just falls short of Davis. Clement kicks it forward. Ball couldn't mark. McComb took it off him. Anderson and Parker go hard.
That was really well done by McComb then. Wrong-footed, good spoil. Went after it again.
We'll have a bounce. Just inside the centre square. And a good tap down. Kemperman goes onto his favoured left. It'll be Allen against Anson. This has been a good matchup. Anson again does well. Clean possession. Little chip around the corner in front of Kirby McConnon. He'll battle with Cody. McConnon did well. Both players holding on to each other, and that's an interesting decision from the umpire.
Stiff. Thought it was pretty fair.
Yeah, I would have let that go.
Yep.
That's what you want. You want those sorts of contests.
Sort of felt like they were doing as bad to each other. And he goes in short. Mark's taken by, it's Emily. Emily goes short. And very, very short here.
And that was late too.
And Jordan Buckingham's going to...
What's he going to do here?
25. Yeah, to Anson.
I think the difference with that was that when he went to make the spoil, hit him low instead of just trying to hit the ball high, and that's why. Gee, that's a short 25, isn't it?
Again.
So Anson kicks inside 50. Perry out in the lead. Couldn't mark Davis. His little handball missed the target. Kelly, he missed the target. Gives it back to Perry, who gives it back to Keane. So comedy of errors. Keane chips short. Finds his man in Bull. Goes with the left foot. Mark taken. Keeley chips over the top to the lead, and it's spoiled and out of bounds underneath the scoreboard, which reads Noble Park 6-5-41. They trail Vermont 7-5-47.
If you're going to go to a one-on-one, a short one-on-one when you've got a 4-goal breeze, surely you'd go down the line, put it out of bounds anyway, wouldn't you?
Well, they had Robertson, then Plymouth, then Monahan in the middle. They just needed to look for the switch even in that situation.
Oh, Buxton gets a tap and everyone jumps on, and we'll have another bounce.
Update from Eastfield. Thanks to the local burger co. Templestowe Peppering not able to put a decent score on the board. 7-5 they are now, trailing the Western 7-40. I'm on the Eastfield.
Thank you, Dyson Baker from the third dimension.
Chuck Manson just Anderson got there first. He's wrapped up by McCafferty.
The new Doctor Who.
Yeah, Dalek.
The bounce, Manson just punches it forward.
Daleks.
Coming out, meeting it. Keeley, nice little hand pass to Harper. Gives off to Cody. He's got Kempman going past, who just fumbled. Purdy came out and met it. Oh, got the ball spilled out. Many players around it. Kemperman and Purdy go hard, and the ball, we're going to have a throw-in in the left forward pocket.
Gee, that was a gilt-edged opportunity for Noble Park if they handled the ball cleanly. I think they could have goaled then.
Well, Stewie Kemperman was on his preferred side too. just couldn't get a handle on it. So thrown in again. Big Virgin wins the tap. Keeley looked for the high tackle. Umpire said nothing doing. We'll have a bounce.
And again, Vermont will be liking this, just creating those stoppages at the moment, eating the time away. Like, Noble have done a great job, but Vermont are still in front. That's the key.
There's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go to Vermont. Kyle Buxton gives the hand pass off. Davidson can go. The big switch, it's a great kick too, and Wade McConnell's away, but he'll hold it up.
He's got no one forward though, so he's going to have to hold play up.
He's got men wide of him, and he uses him. Tim Johnson, who just chip it over the long as Davidson brings it back in to the outer side, but kicked it straight to the big Virgin, the big V. Virgin fakes marked. Should be a Colt hero down at Noble Park. He looks like he's going to have a ping at the sticks here. He's at left half forward. We've seen that ball has carried from this area of the ground, and he gets under it. Big Virgin fake goes long, but just hooked it. He's carried that. He's kicked that a good
60 metres, I reckon.
At least 60. He was 10 metres behind the 50, and he's kicked it onto the path behind the goal. So he's kicked that a long, long way.
Just hooking it though. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 6-7-43 Noble Park. Trail Vermont 7-5-47. 24 minutes gone in this third term.
Boundary.
Cross down boundary side, thanks to Life Care, Esmond DePonzo.
Noble Park pushing hard, pushing all their backmen, just pushing up there. There's nobody in their 50 metre line.
Strong mark by Purdy. Goes out wide. Now they're probably at that stage where they do have the numbers. A quick kick was smothered. Nicely done there by Tim Kelly. Scooped away a little handball.
Harper.
Noble Park through Harper go forward, but once again pushed to the right-hand side. Yep. And another minor score. That's number 8. The margin is now back to 3 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 25 minutes in.
Dockers finally nail a goal out at Eastbell. It's still trailing though. Templestowe 4-7-31 the Basin 8-5-53.
The ball comes in from Davidson to the other side. Man couldn't mark. Harper and Parker fight for it at ground level, doing really well. It was fake, got the hand pass through. Keeley and Harper wrap up a Vermont player at the bottom of the pack. You just feel if the whistle blows, just blowing time off. Noble Park can be in front at three-quarter time. Vermont do have a strong breeze.
Breeze is not going to win you the game of football.
It could be an interesting final term. You just feel like that psychological edge. As Davidson beautifully away from the contest at half-back, kicks forward. Styles couldn't take a mark, went to ground. Peaver Wright did really well. Got the hand pass up to Plimmin, who kicks it into the middle. It's a dangerous kick, but it might just work. Coming over it was Keane. His hand pass was chopped off, got to his man intended in Anderson, who goes back to Keane, who goes through his hands. Anderson will mop up again, nearly back at the centre circle. He kicks inside 50. It's a wobbler, but it's found Allen right on the 50.
Now he can kick this goal.
Should really take it upon himself and set it up.
The breeze is what it is.
Yep,
then then he's crazy not to have a ping.
Just aim at the left-hand goalpost, do you reckon? Or
I was going to say exactly the same. Left-hand goalpost, it'll bring it straight through.
Just set it up with a breeze. Shane Allen. Distance shouldn't be a problem. It looks good, but geez, that wind has taken it a long way. Maybe he should have gone for the point post. And through for another behind.
Probably didn't help with the natural left foot hook. Accentuated it, but yeah, they've got to make sure they've got to kick another one. They can't afford to just have 5 or 6 set shots at goal and miss all of them. They've got to put one of them through and then then it becomes scoreboard pressure.
Perry's been forward, now he's kicking in, but let's face it,
Three-quarter
every
time,
player's in that arc. Kick comes out, Sketcher dropped the mark. Little handball by Mann, looked for Kelly, who dropped the football. Mann came back in right also, dumps it on his boot, kicks it to the goal square. Martin, which way will it bounce? Another behind on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's 1 point the difference out here. 46 plays 47. Vermont have the lead. 27.5 minutes into the third term.
How was that? I thought that was going to go through for a second then from Peaver.
I think when it gets to that certain spot, doesn't it? It gets taken right away.
Just wobbling through the air.
But they're just winning all over the ground at the moment, Noble. They're just... Vermont are just hanging on for three-quarter time. That's what it seems like.
They've gone into like preservation mode, haven't they?
Yep.
So Perry is weighing up his options. They'll to try and hopefully eat out these last couple of minutes. The ball really holds up there. A strong mark's been taken by Monaghan, and he's taking it inside the arc too. So he's about, he's probably got a 50-degree angle.
Usually a good kick for goal too, Sam Monaghan.
I think Noble, Vermont have kicked the ball in 4 times, and they've done exactly the same each time, and not changed up, and the ball's come straight back with interest. So they just need to do something a bit different.
They really have telegraphed the last those 4 possessions.
They really have been peppering, and it's almost as if the siren put him off a little bit, Sam Monaghan, and the score stays the same. 1 point the difference. It's Vermont leading at three-quarter time in the first semi-final in Division 1. As 7 goals, 5:47, Noble Parker, 6 goals, 10:46. They just couldn't buy a goal in those last remaining minutes of the third term. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live around the globe, efl.org.au. 2 goals to Shane Allen from Noble Park, 2 goals to Wade McConnon for the Eagles. The rest are singles. We'll be back with all the important around the ground scores because there's one big game happening out at East Bell between Templestowe and the Basin, but Dyson Baker will bring you up to date with that right after this.
Hey man.
Yeah, man.
Can you smell it?
Smell what?
It's my favourite smell in the world. Footy season.
Yeah, man, like you can smell the grass at the Mighty G.
Yeah, and you know what else I can smell? The hot marshmallow chocolate at Pancake Parlour.
They're like my favourite smells ever. Like first you head to the G and smell the grass, and then after you've cheered your guts out, head straight to Pancake Parlour and warm up with a delicious hot marshmallow chocolate.
Oh, it's made with pure Belgian chocolate, seriously decadent.
Pancake Parlour. 24 hours, High Point, Malvern and Doncaster East.
Lovely.
Program sponsor.
It's difficult to see through a dirty window, but once you clean it, you can clearly see the view. Tobin Brothers Funerals is just like a clean window. Its easy-to-use website and Memory Maker app are so transparent, you don't need to clear the cobwebs to find the information you need. It's all there for you to see and make an informed decision when planning a loved one's funeral. Download Tobin Brothers Memory Maker app today. It's free from iTunes and Google Play. Or find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tax. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week, and I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
Welcome back to the Radio Eastern Studios here in Croydon. What a day we have on our hands. There are 3 great games going on around the Eastern Football League. The game out at Ringwood at Jubilee Park, of course, has gotten nice and close during that third term, and it's Vermont who leads 7-5-47 over Noble Park 6-10-46. The other game going on over at East Build Reserve is between Templestowe and the Basin, and the Basin lead, although they have just extended their lead to 21 points, 9-5-59 to Templestowe 5-8-38, not going away in the latter stages of the third term. And over at Lilydale Sports Oval in the BJS Vets Grand Final at three-quarter time, North Ringwood 3-6-24, trailing Scoresby 4-4-28. Scoresby coming from 4th position in the Vets to try and get up in that one. In the AFL, before we head back to the boys, full-time at Docklands and at Melbourne 15-13-103 have defeated the Giants 11-11-77.
There goes the
Hogan
hoodoo.
and Newton with 3 apiece, finally getting a win at the Docklands Melbourne. 38 touches to Bernie Vince, helping their cause, 36 to Jones, while Cullen Ward had 32 for the Giants. The other game going on in AFL is the game between Collingwood and Essendon, and 10 minutes into the second term, Collingwood 4-2-26 trail Essendon 5-4-34. Heppel has 11 touches, McKernan 10, while for Collingwood, Adams has 14 disposals. So I tell you what, boys, these games are going to go right down to the wire. We'll keep you posted, especially on Templestowe, the Basin, just to see who will take on Mitcham next Sunday in the Division 3 Grand Final.
Thanks very much, Dyson Baker, doing a terrific job in the studio. We are out here at Jubilee Park, and as you mentioned, it is a point the difference in favour of Vermont. And Wayne Brasher and Brett Davidson, for mine, I know Vermont are kicking with the breeze, but I feel like that 1 point lead they've taken in after really being dominated in that third term is just a big psychological edge.
Well, it is in some ways, but the breeze is not going to win you a game of football. Noble Park, once it got the game back on their terms in that third quarter, Mick Fogarty got some matchups right, and all of a sudden some of their key players started moving the ball and switching the ball, and they really started to stretch the Vermont midfield and back line. Vermont's decision making throughout that quarter left a lot to be desired, and probably on 5 or 6 occasions, basically telegraphed a turnover, which unfortunately for Noble Park they couldn't take advantage of, Davo.
Yeah, look, I think the difference though will be that Vermont were trying just to defend that quarter, and that was the difference there. Decision making was poor because they weren't trying to attack, they were just trying to defend, whereas they know this quarter they'll come out and attack with the breeze.
I'm just going to go, sorry Davo, going down to Esmond Aponzo, thanks a lot.
Mick, great third quarter. Great matchups, everyone putting in and running on the ball, using the wind. That was a really good comeback to get back into the game. Just 1 point down.
Yeah, that's what we needed to do. We had to go in at three-quarter time and give ourselves a chance to win the game. I think we've done that. At the end, it was a little bit disappointed where we kicked a lot of points. We probably didn't lower the eyes, and we just got some real balls that went, obviously, 3 points through probably not lowering our eyes and being useful with the footy.
And in that second quarter, the wind isn't be all or end all. When you carried the ball, when the forwards led up, you showed you can kick goals against the wind.
Absolutely, they hadn't scored against the wind, and we have. We kicked 2 goals and we kicked three points into it. So we've got every confidence that we can move the ball. It's down the ball movement, taking the game on, and some real exciting run and carry.
Thanks, Mix. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much to Esmond Aponzo down there, doing a great job on the boundary. So sorry, we cut you off there, Davo.
No, that's fine. I was going to say the same thing. I think Noble have got the opportunity to win this game by doing exactly what Mick said, and that is carrying the football, making sure like they did and kicking those 2 goals into the breeze by just lowering their eyes again, making sure that they get their mids involved. Vermont, they still have to win this game. I mean, it's not they're a point in front. They've still got to come out and play good football to win it, but I think the breeze may have dropped a little bit, I'm not sure, but I think it is in their
Vermont control their own destiny.
They certainly do. They certainly do.
It's theirs if they want it.
It's going to be a massive final term as the players are in position. We're not far away from bouncing.
Here we go.
Ball goes up in the middle. Manson couldn't get the tap. Monahan was there. We will have another bounce.
Well, the good thing is Noble haven't gone with a loose in defence. They've just played 18 on 18.
Spills to the back, Bulls under pressure. And Manson taps it down. Predo.
The other interesting thing is that Cole Martin has not been in the middle once today.
No.
He's played down deep forward the whole game.
The bounce and pass out. Johnson has a free kick. It's going to go to Noble Park.
Slung after the tackle.
First real chance to go inside 50. Keeley plays on and goes bang inside 50. Martin out in front. Couldn't mark. Good spoil from the back. Kemperman threw it on his boot. And Big Virgin fake takes the mark. And a chance for the Bulls to go in front early in this final term.
Well, we know he can kick a ball because he kicked the last one 127 metres. So into the breeze it might be a little bit different, but...
Still a gettable goal, though, from where he is. He's inside the 50-metre arc, probably shooting from about 35, 40 metres out. He should be able to get the distance and put Noble Park in front here. Psychologically, that'll be a blow for Vermont.
So, big Virgin fake Comes in, nice looking kicking action. He's drilled it. The Bulls are in front at Jubilee. 7-10-52. They lead Vermont 7-5-47, and the Big Virgin's got 2.
And again, ball movement from the middle. I mean, it was a scrambled effort, but they still managed to get it up there, and putting that big tall down forward has been good for them because it's given them the target they need.
Also letting Vermont know very early that they're willing to score as well. Man on man, Manson got the knockdown. Mendez was in there. Anderson came charging through and he copped it. Mendez, I tell you what, that was a hard hit, and I think we might have to call for a stretcher here because
that was a definite statement there by Craig Anderson, and you know, look, it was all above board. But Daniel Mendez is a tough nut, and I'll tell you what, if he'll get up. Don't you worry about that.
That was a classic. He split him down the middle then. So, but you're right. He made a definite. You know, he said, right, I'm going to impact the contest here, and that's exactly what he did. Anderson, I was really impressed with what he. Oh, I'm not impressed that he's hurt the boy, but
no. Well, there was nothing in. There was nothing in that, Davo. That was your classic. That was a classic shirt and front and whatever we call them ones. Shirt front. Yeah, that'll do.
certainly would have been winded.
He'll be right, Daniel.
Just getting to his feet now. There's no doubt he'll go off the ground, but great to see him get to his feet. That's a good sign. He's been an absolute ripper player this afternoon.
Yeah, give him a 2 or 3 minute spell. He'll be back on. They'll do the concussion test if they have one.
You can listen back to any EFL radio program at any time. To go live and local for your footy.
So just about to get back underway here by Jordan Bannister. Or Geordie Buckingham, I should say.
Bannister? Oh, my God.
I can't believe it. Kicks it. Noble Park go up towards the forward line. Picked up by Johnson. Got a grubber kick out towards the Preto direction. He's got Cody out there on his hammer of the Trent variety. Ball stays alive only for a moment. Tim Kelly seeing it over right underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Seeing a 5-point lead to the Noble Park Football Club. 7-10-52. Vermont 7-5-47. 3.5 minutes into this final term. Umpire brings it back in now. Bird over the back, knocked it down. Vermont with the win this quarter. Send the ball up forward. It's a bounce, got to bounce favourably here, and it might just set up perfectly for McComb, who snaps it around the knee. Now that's the one they were after. Fantastic reply there from the Vermont Football Club. They regain the lead by 1 point on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We're 4 minutes into the final term.
Young Robbie McComb came from Furniture Gully this year to try and make a mark and make an improvement in his football career. He's only a young guy, 19 years of age. Played in the reserves grade this year and has really earned his stripes, and he's come to play in this particular quarter. He's been very solid all day, trying to create opportunities in that forward line. Only a young bloke, 19 years of age.
Ball back in the middle. Big Chuck Manson just bangs it forward. McCarthy, though, in better position.
Well done.
So, takes a terrific mark. Just played in front.
That's where King should have been. Oh, Herbelet, I should say.
So again, the game switches and finds McCafferty.
He's been good today, young Connor.
He can go over the top again. Mark taken by Barry Murphy. He can go long. Eva right, Joel Perry will contest. Joel Perry takes a terrific contested mark at right half forward.
He's got options inside.
Davis comes at him now. Going to go long and back to the square. Chance for players to fly. Big fist, and two Vermont players collided.
That was tough. Styles.
Well, you can't say they're not committed at the football.
Styles and Davis are down, both in the same position at the moment. Crouched over.
They nearly come at it from different angles, didn't they?
Yeah.
And basically collected each other's arms and flipped each other.
Well, Mitch Davis has got up. Obviously, Jaden Styles has come off just a little worse for wear, but he looks all right.
Right. This is gone. It looks like they're going to throw it in. These players look okay. Danger time here for Noah Park. Not much of a throwing in the end, and it's really caused problems for Noah Park as Robertson tries to burst his way through. Kemperman gets a boot to it. Players come at it. Chance for Johnston. Lost it, earned it back, got a little hand pass out. Emily couldn't control it.
Gee, I thought that was I'll be honest, I thought that was a bit of a soft free kick there.
He looked for the high tackle and he got it.
I mean, you've got to give the bloke an opportunity to go in and tackle.
Done that a few times today, Kyle Emley.
It was soft brush.
It was. No doubt about it.
In the context of what's been happening in the last 5 minutes, that was a fairly soft result. Yeah.
Could hurt as well because he's going to have a shot on goal.
Yeah, but all players have really struggled to kick a goal from this side of the ground today.
Kyle Emley comes in, he sits it up. Looks pretty good, I reckon. Kyle Emley kicks the goal.
And he's made a complete liar of me.
He extends their lead. 7-point lead now to Vermont. And they are skipping away here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Not really.
Wouldn't say they're skipping. Not yet.
That really hurt though. I think a free kick, a soft free kick ends up in a goal. They hurt because now Noble have got to kick, another 2 into the breeze, which is, while we say it's the breeze is not going to win you a game, when you can kick the ball 65 and 70 with it, but you can only kick 35 into it, it does make a big difference.
7 points is
There
the
he
margin.
Dan Mendes back on the ground. Great sign.
Kyle Emley going off with the blood rule.
So maybe it was a little bit high.
You reckon? Good to see someone's keeping us honest. Back in the middle of the ground. Jesus, that's not in your face. Comes out McCaffrey, gets the handball away. Now they're surging forward again. Deneen broke the tackle, then dumped it on the boot, kicked it to the hot spot. Davis was there. But in fact, it was Perry that time, couldn't pull the ball down. McComb also support also by Davis, and over she goes for a boundary throw.
There's the experience of Deneen, wasn't he? Got it, didn't blaze away, actually put it in the right space.
100%. 7 points is the margin. Whale Buxton to Perry, quickly wrapped up in a tackle.
You almost think here, Davo, that Vermont are thinking we need to seize the moment now. If we can break the game open in the next 5 to 7 minutes, we could win this game.
Yep.
Holding the man from the ruck contest. Manson thought it was against him in the first instant and cracked it, but realised he received a free kick. Kemperman. Well, he went short.
That's always going to be a free kick when a player charges from behind, right, and takes a bloke high.
So, Noble Park, Manson takes it just inside the arc, gets it away to Tim Kelly on the right boot. He copped one for his troubles after he kicked it straight down the throat though of Kyle Staples. Wing position.
See, that was borderline too.
Staples now thumps it every bit of 60 plus metres over the back of the pack. Bulls will have the numbers. Sketcher, handball out wide. Plemons made a little bit of space. Hopefully it bounces favourably for him. He got a knock on it, gained 5 or so metres. Over she goes for a boundary throw-in, 70 metres out from Vermont's goals.
I reckon he's had a dirty day, Plemon. I don't think he's gotten anywhere near the ball enough for Noble Park.
Pye to bring the ball back in. 9.5 minutes gone, 7 points is the margin. Plemon, speak of the devil, little handball, eventually hands in the arms of Milton Horn, who's
there he is.
He's Bernie Deneen, this way, that way, swings out. Had a little bit of vision out wide, he was looking for Styles, and it might actually stay in for Styles in the end. Sketcher came across and eventually crosses the paint. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Streaming live around the globe, efl.org.au. Basin are leading by 3 goals against Templestowe. We had a Dyson Baker shortly for an update in that game as Noble Park drive the ball into the middle of the ground where it was intended for Allen, but it was not favourable at all. McCafferty just chops it off here, runs around on the right boot, dumps it forward. Once again, there's more Bulls than there are Eagles, and Manson comes in from the side.
He's trying to take him on.
By Wade McConnell. Small. It was David versus Goliath, and it was almost pulled off as well.
He was very lucky there, Chucky Manson, because he tried to take on 2 tacklers, and the umpire could have easily pinged him for that, but let him off the hook.
It's only about 25 metres out from the Vermont goals. And they get boot to ball. Pye will come in and bounce it. Well, Buxton just handing it back now. Big moment for the Vermont side. right, got the little handball away. Horton Milne went out wide to Sketcher on the right boot. He spotted up a target. That was good play, and then Cody can move it. Quickly he'll find a teammate up along the wing position. Spears a pass. It was a good one too, where Collis takes it. Short passes on Jared Plimmin now. He'll go back over his mark and try and send the ball forward. We know he can thump the football.
They're way too slow.
Yep.
Way too slow. They had options through the centre that were running.
So finally decides to drive it up towards the half-forward line. Here's Harper on the right boot, dribbles a kick up towards the Martin direction.
Good tackle,
Deneen
Bernie.
right on his hammer, and he dropped the football. Martin, he could have
And
almost
Bernie
been pinned.
again.
Collis got the handball away. Martin got it onwards as well, but they mop up nicely here through Johnson, the Eagles. On the left boot out towards the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, looking for Whale Buxton, but Bergen Fake takes a strong mark, and he'll look to go in the middle of the ground, and he's where he spots up Jared Plimmin. Maybe now they can quick create the switch. Cody's all by himself. Once again, Plimmin just taking his time here. Short passes on Monaghan. It was dangerous. It was knocked away there by Timmy Johnson. Comes up towards the Perry direction. Handball away. McComb goes in.
Oh, well done.
But nicely done there by Robertson, who just used his hustle and bustle in the middle of the ground now. They've got the fumbles. Collis picks it up. Deneen, he's in and around everything, Bernie, in this term. Desperate stakes. And we'll have a bounce right in the centre out here at Jubilee Park.
Jeepers, I'll have 100 Bernie Deneens on my side every day of the week.
Ball thrown up just next to the circle, Noble Park side. Big V got the tap, but Shark by McComb.
What was
snaps
that
out. Mark's taken by Monaghan, gives to Plimmin, who's got involved ever since Brash gave him a bit of a spray. Kicks inside 50, and what a kick it is, Allen. Got met a little bit from the front. Umpire said play on. Hand pass came to Bull. He tried to bull his way through. Man, hand pass up. Allen in there. At ground level, he's over it. Gets to his feet. Tries to get the hand pass out, and we'll have a bounce.
Good desperation by both
I'm loving
sides.
this game now because both sides are going for broke here. They know that it's all on the line.
Ball comes down. Harper. Probably should have got boot to ball there.
The umpires are letting that go now.
Well, as long as they're consistent with it, that's all you don't mind.
Another bounce. Side 50 man. Really just tapped it down at the feet. Purdy and Mendez are in there. Vermont, and we'll have another bounce. Looks like Kyle Emley's got a new fashion statement down here. Nice band around the head. Ball comes out. Keen's little give. Allen threw the head back looking for a free kick, and the
umpire there
did really well. Tried to suck him in.
Not falling for anything, Geordie.
This is a crucial bit of play here. This is really crucial.
Man. Ball comes out the back. Oh, players just gave out.
Neither side wanted that then.
A couple of players, Vermont and Noble Park, just pulled out.
Yeah.
Any update from East Burwood around the grounds thanks to the local burger company?
It's off getting a coffee.
19 points.
The Dungeon Master's back again.
Keane goes long to the top of the square. One-on-one, Allen.
He's almost held there, Allen.
Anson spoiled it. Players going after it. It's desperate times. Bernie Deneen's in the bottom, just burrowing through. Almost like he was trying to score a try in rugby. Then
I thought he was trying to dig his way to the ground, to the end zone.
I think Vermont would be happy to force it behind you just to get control of the ball again.
It's crossed down boundary side thanks to Life Care, Esmond DePonzo.
There's a lot of coaches here. Everybody's barking instructions. It is a really intense feeling here.
Stuart Kemperman.
Oh, holy dooly.
Stewie Kemperman from the stoppage has kicked a goal from point blank range. And we are back to a 1-point ball game. 8-10-58. Noble Park, they trail Vermont 9-5-59 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
That was a great tap too, wasn't it? Beautiful tap down, and that's what you want your midfielders to do in that situation, score in that area. And you've got to give it in to Noble. They're not going away, are they?
No, they've really come to play after half-time. They've given it everything they've got.
Well, we wanted a close one, and that's exactly what we've got. 1 point is the margin. Cody trying to get boot to ball in there is Parker as well. Anderson laying a tackle, and let's bounce it again. Whale Buxton versus Fake got it over the top. That worked out well there. Monaghan came in, got the handball away to Martin, who snapped it around the body looking for Harper, who got a handle on it. McCarthy was in there.
Pushing it
almost
back.
popped one in the back.
Yep.
Interesting, Martin's gone into the middle.
Yep.
Grant McCarthy. Spoken about what a class act he is. He can certainly roost a football on his big left. Lex to go short. Deneen. Gee, hasn't he stood up today?
Sure.
Favourite son, pretty much everyone.
Oh.
Bernie Deneen spears it into the middle. McCafferty got down low. It was a difficult one to mark in the end, and he did well. Swings the ball out wide. That's good play because Hansen, well, he had a good lead there. He had to work pretty hard for it. Allen was right on his hammer, but he turned him inside out and he drove it up towards centre half forward. Almost taking the mark there was Kelly. Got the little handball out. That was okay. Martin, they might be able to work themselves out here. Noble Park, little arching the back. I think that might be Cody on the left boot. In fact, it's that player in Sketcher on the left boot. Keane was charging at it, so too was Hansen, and he's been paid the mark as well. What an absolute cracker that was. Eyes only for the football.
Great contest then. Great contest. Both of them were, you know, there was nothing in that apart from the fact it was a good, solid contest.
In that second quarter, Davo, Vermont were winning those 50-50 contests in their forward 50. Now the ball's not running their way, and they're really having to go very hard in this last quarter.
Go short to Davidson.
He's been good today too.
Yep.
Davidson weighted up his options and then dumped it 50 metres. It was a strong kick too. Perry had the front spot, but it was knocked away just in the nick of time. Over she goes for a boundary throw in 60 metres out.
You can looking at the body language of both sides. They are really running their hearts out in this last quarter. They're leaving nothing to chance.
Only probably 10 minutes to go in this game. Fake. Took it. Purdy brought him to ground. Let's have a bounce. 65 metres out from goal. It's down Beaumont's end. They lead by 1 point. They have the breeze in the final term. Will they get a chance to go forward now? Anderson picked it up for the Bulls. Little handball. He's looking for Kemperman. Plemon was in there as well. He was brought to ground by a great Connor McCafferty tackle, and we'll have another bounce.
He's been very good today, Connor McCafferty, in that back line. He's really stood up today.
No Father's Day dinners tonight, so boys. We might have extra time.
Ball's knocked over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Could be a bit late.
Well, I've booked the 9:05 on Tiger Airways. It's felt like we've been in Tiger Airways all day. So tight up here in the stand. Dyson around the ground.
Templestowe 5-12-42 doing everything they can, but just not kicking it through the big sticks. The base 9-5-59. 16 minutes gone, final term.
Well, Robertson got it to Anderson, to Martin, into the middle to Keeley. He'll give it back now, and here's Kelly on the right boot, finds Harbour in the middle of the ground. What an absolute hurler of a mark, going back with the flight and pulling it down.
Horse.
Absolutely superb plays. Now Vermont get a chance to go forward up towards the half-forward line. Robertson, he almost took the mark, but it spilled out now. Here's Davis on the right boot. Here's a go towards the Perry direction. Nicely done there by Wright. It was
no
knocked
numbers
away
at the
from
ball
him.
there for
Robertson,
Vermont.
who's getting a bit of the football, handballed it over the top to Kelly, who's certainly been serviceable. He's just dropped it. Here's McConnell. He gets it boot to ball, kicks it into the pocket, bouncing away, and Sketcher sees it over for a boundary throw instead.
Well, the umpires have let that go, Dave.
And I reckon he actually got his foot. He got his boot to it. It wasn't orthodox, but he did get his boot to it.
So it's only about 20 metres out from Vermont's goals. Leading by 1 point, 19 and a half minutes gone into the final term. Manson knocked it down. Plemon got boot to ball out of the danger zone and grub it up towards the arc. Picked up there by Johnston. Little handball out wide. Here's Purdy. Can Purdy kick a goal? He squeezes it back, but not far enough. Minor score is the result. Bendigo back scoreboard. Vermont lead by 2 points, 20 minutes into the final term.
I reckon if you put that a little bit higher, that would have been taken by the breeze. He kept it too low then.
They bring it in, short to Kelly, who's got involved in this final term. Risky handball to Sketcher, but he's been brilliant today off that back line. Not his best kick though. Ran straight past the Vermont player. Man picked it up, gives a hand pass inside Anderson, another underground handball. They go inside 50. Allen's caught behind Anson, who's been terrific
strong
today.
Yeah. The last couple of minutes, Sam Anson has really stood up for the Vermont Football Club.
Anson goes long. Really good mark by Monahan. He's been terrific above his head today. Goes back, Martin. Bernie's coming.
He threw that.
Lost it. Knocked out in the tackle. Kelly.
Easy, Brash.
Well,
goes wide. Monahan's on here. Noble Park can go into the pocket. Luke Mann leads in the chase and he takes the mark. Just inside the boundary, wants to go, chips into the pocket looking for Allen. Above his head, Anson comes across.
I thought it was high.
No,
He did get an arm on the shoulder.
So Shane Allen, this will favour his left foot.
This is a tough shot.
Yeah.
This is
With the wind.
even with a left footer, this is a tough shot. Bernie Deneen's come up. He has just about run himself into the ground.
Shane Allen plays on, and he's just snuck it in for a behind. So, 1 point ball game.
Gee, what a game this has turned out to be. Absolute classic game between two Premier First Division sides. This is what we've been looking for all final series, and we finally got a live one.
Shane Davidson to bring it back in for the Eagles. On the right boot, he thumps it in towards the middle of the ground. That was an absolute ripper as well. And they'll run off here. Here's Parker in through the middle. They go coast to coast as the kick goes forward. It was a good looking 1-2 for McConnell, who used his body beautifully, and he slammed it home. That is magnificent play. Like I said, coast to coast, head to head. Fantastic goal there by Wade McConnell. That's his third of the afternoon, and Vermont, will they get the breathing space that they were after? 7-point margin here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 22 minutes into the final term.
The difference between the two sides, between nearly the first half and this last half, they're both playing footy.
Yeah.
They're both taking the game on. That was magnificent footy then. Down the middle, strong mark, long kick, Crummer's goal. Great to watch.
Taking a little bird, thumps it forward. Monahan's been terrific today. Gives it to his opposite numbers and Parko. Tackled well by Chuck Manson. Anderson lays a strong tackle as well on Predo and will have a bounce.
Not only was a good play out of the back line, but that pass by Parker.
Boys, Dockers.
Go.
Dockers as close as they've been all day with another goal. Back to 11 points still in favour of the Basin.
Kelly taps it to Sketcher. Oh, Bull tried to be a little bit too cute. Terrific smother by Styles. Kicks inside 50. Reading the play better there was Mendez. Got Robinson. Really good effort. Really great contest from both players, and we'll have a bounce deep in the right forward pocket.
That was really good. That was really well done by Dan Mendez, because he nearly turned Trent Robinson in, but Robinson was committed to the cause and laid the heavy tackle on.
Another whistle. Just blowing time back on. Third man over for Vermont and just really tapped it out of bounds. Umpire says throw it in.
I reckon the next goal here for Vermont wins it.
They can just kill maybe 3 or 4 minutes here. It's going to go a long way to win this one. Both ruckmen are in there. Ball comes out. Monahan's handball with Shark McComb. He's already kicked one. Just dropped the ball in the end. Lost control. Well, Buxton Martin's hand pass Emily. Snap around the body, the left foot to the top of the square, ball coming Wade McConnell, so dangerous. He's already got 3, Wade McConnell. Kick was smothered at the top of the square brilliantly. Predo's there. Andrew Predo steps around, lost possession. Thought there might have been a whistle. Nothing doing. Parker working a tight space. Predo tried to go over his shoulder. Plymouth just helped it out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in.
See, I don't reckon there's going to be much time in this last quarter. Both sides really have only kicked a goal apiece, I think. No, 3 goals to Vermont.
So a throw in. Well, Buxton got that one, picked it up at ground level. Was unsure, got the handball to Emily, who might be in a bit of trouble. No, umpire said nothing doing.
You know, footy's great. I'm looking down at the boundary here.
Yeah.
I've got Bernie and I've got
Robbie Kempman.
Robbie Kempman having a chat.
Yeah.
Stewie having a chat before they go on. It's great to see.
Ball cleared, one-on-one contest. Really good
Well
mark.
done by Cody then. He outmuscled
Gotta go.
Barry Murphy.
He's got Allen on, but he goes shorter to Martin. Running back really hard inside 50. Options ahead. Martin just doesn't want to move it on. He's got Anderson as well. Goes in that direction, and no one's near Craig Anderson. Man in the middle of about 4 Eagles.
Oh, Allen's on. Come on.
Doesn't want to go on. He sees the big V. Goes one-on-one against Staples. Oh, almost took a beautiful mark. Parker lays on top of him. And
He was very lucky there.
Yeah, that
I reckon Parker was very lucky there because he was laying into Fake's back.
Right in front of the Noble Park faithful as well.
Yeah.
Scored a goal from a stoppage already this term, Noble. Staples drags it in. Big tackle laid, and we'll have another bounce.
Now it's Vermont's turn to defend in the back line resolutely.
Can't think of too many times today we haven't had a secondary bounce after stoppage.
30 players in amongst this. Look at that.
Virgin gets the tap, but straight down to McComb was clear. He's come into it in this last term, but straight down the throat of Bull. Hand passes over the top to Cody. You can go back to him now. Poor handball. Ball on his left side. He does. He gets it. Peaver Wright's down there standing under it. Almost took the mark. Keeley fighting in there for Noble Park. There's a big tackle.
Jeez.
Another bounce.
Another goal would make it interesting.
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
it?
Wouldn't mind
Just
extra time.
just add a little bit to something.
Vermont by 7. 26 and a half gone. Comes down. Charging. Purdy. Well, he only wanted the football, and there was too many players around at that pace to probably not cut one high. And
That was a Selwood free kick, that one. Dropped the knees beautifully as soon as he got it.
Got up properly, then scooted away nicely, but the kick goes straight into the arms of Stewie Kemperman, who knows there's not too much time left. He's got to get boot to ball. He's usually a good kick right, has the lead over the top of his head. It goes, and now Vermont get the chance with the clearing kick out towards the wing position. McConnon's out there. He's going to have Bull to beat, who got it down onto hands and knees in the end, got the little handball out towards the Sketcher direction. His handball was under pressure. Mance out to get down low. Anderson goes charging in. He got boot to ball. Scoots out wide now for Vermont. Here's Kyle Emley. He's wrapped up like a mummy in this second half. He'll have a bounce. He might have another one. He's got Bull right on his hammer. It's a siren sound. It doesn't matter. What a performance by the Vermont Football Club today. 7-point winners over Noble Park.
It's a terrific win there.
What a game of football that was. Both sides absolutely out on their feet here. They've both given it all. You know, congratulations to both Vermont and Noble Park. They put on a performance in that second half, Davo, that was worthy of a Division 1 final.
Exactly. I think in the first half, or especially the first quarter, you looked at two sides and you thought, well, if Baldwin was watching this, they'd be going, well, you know, we haven't got too much to beat. But in that last half, we actually saw some great football by both sides, play on, run on, hard tackling, some good goals kicked. It was just great to watch. And, you know, Vermont, you look at it, that second quarter wasn't... Oh, the first quarter probably won it for them, didn't it? To keep Noble basically goalless in a quarter of football when they got a 4-goal breeze, and that changed the game.
Unbelievable two great performances from two guys who you could tell were playing as if it was their last game of football in that last term in Bernie Deneen and Grant McCarthy.
Oh, Bernie was fantastic today, wasn't he? And in fact, the good thing about Vermont, the thing that's been good, their young blokes stood up today, and when it was tough and hard, you know, McCafferty was good. You know, they're very impressive. And
the other thing is too, Vermont's forward line, neither forward line today had a big impact on the game, Davo. And the thing is, that would be one thing that Baldwin wouldn't be terribly worried about coming into next week's game, because they know that they may have the players to cover both sides, well, to cover Vermont's inadequacies in that forward line.
Yeah, well, I think the key is going to be with Baldwin is the fact that do Vermont have the defensive players to cover all the Baldwin forwards? I mean, that's going to be the key thing, because, you know, they're a very, very potent forward line, the Baldwin Footy Club. But, you know, Vermont are there. No one gave them a chance. No. Everyone's been talking about everyone else. And, you know, they've come away today with their youth, their run, and a very, very impressive win. But got to give it into the Bulls as well. We thought they were gone, and they stood up and produced a great last half of footy.
It was a terrific effort. I mean, that was something that we questioned even going into half-time, was were the Bulls going to fight back? And for mine, I didn't think they were going to get right back into it as they did.
Let's cross down boundary side. Esmond Aponzo with Bernie Deneen.
Bernie, great game. Look, congratulations on that. It was a fantastic game today. And you got a date or an appointment with Baldwin next week.
Yeah, thanks, Es. No, look, it was a cracking game. Knew Noble would come, and they're a super proud club, and they really had a go. And I know they had a few injuries, and super effort from them. And yeah, just happy to be alive for another week.
So it was the strategy against the win, giving the conditions today, really just to block and just make sure that you had control of the game, and then with the win, just trying to attack a lot more?
Yeah, look, I think we're a pretty defensive sort of unit, and you know that's something Cockers has brought to the club, and it's been really good for us. So. Yeah, we had to adjust the conditions, that we didn't need to get too much play, just run the footy into the breeze and then hope we could use it. And they were great in the third quarter, and just pleased we could hold off at the end there.
Bernie, it's Brash here. Congratulations, mate. A fantastic performance. I actually reckon you won the game in the first quarter, funny enough. Bernie holding them to 3 points, even though Vermont only scored 2.
Yeah, look, Brash, I think that was a focus for us when we knew we were kicking to the breeze. We said that we just needed to keep it super tight and in close early, and if we could do that, then that gave us an extra quarter with the breeze after that, and I think you're right, that was a really telling quarter for us.
One of the things, though, in that second quarter, when it almost seemed like it was a reverse gameplay in that second quarter, it was like Vermont really wanted to take ownership of that midfield and go straight down the line, and some of that long kicking really benefited those crumbing forwards.
Yeah, look, it was a focus we certainly had. We just wanted to run the ball again and not assume the breeze would do it for us. But yeah, look, we're able to get in the right spots. We're able to be really dangerous, and as they did in the third quarter. And it's just the sign of the maturity of this young group coming through, retaining the ball late in the first like we did last week, and it set us up for a really good win.
Bernie, it's Brett Davidson here, mate. Fantastic win. What's it like playing with this great young group of kids compared with probably the last couple of years where the club's been a little bit on the older side? It's been a really young group at the moment. It must be really exciting.
Yeah, you're right, Dave. I know it sounds a bit silly. I actually made the decision to go on again on footy trip based on the fact that we had so many young kids around, and I just wanted to be part of the development, and if we could play finals, that was a bonus, and the way they've grown, and with a few of the other recruits we've had in, it's been probably the most enjoyable season of footy I've had in 10 or 15 years.
Bernie, it's BWS. Congratulations, mate. Get in there and sing that song. We'll see you next week.
Cheers, boys. See you next week.
Boys, update from Eastfield Reserve. Back to 8 points, 29 minutes gone, final term. 6:15:51, Templestowe kicking themselves out of it. The base at 9:5:59. I'll keep you posted on that as soon as I can.
Can't be long left, Dice.
29 minutes gone is the last update I had from Will Taylor, and also from Josh Dorr, who was out at Lillardale Sports Oval. North Ringwood have got over Scoresby by 1 point in an absolute thriller with the old boys.
There'll be 4 or 5 ambulances out there, won't they, with the fact that they've got the heart starter out there, I tell you what.
The defibrillator.
Full time at Eastfield Reserve, and the Basin are into the 2015 Grand Final by 7 points. Had all the attacking in the final term, but couldn't get the job done in the last.
That'll sting them.
I reckon this is a pretty fair cue of exactly where they're at.
Oh, brilliant!
Something with the bear, is it? Is there a bear in there?